They that wait upon the Lord shall renew. They shall mount up with wings. Like eagle and soar. They that they shall. Say it.
Citi 97.3. More variety.
The city is alive on 97.3.
Citi 97.3. Accra.
There can be no other 97.3. No need to change. Keep it tuned to Citi. You're number one. Don't look no further. We've got it all covered. Citi FM.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music, talk, inspiration, in perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbor.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
City 97.3. Accra.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
So this is Edward Akwesi Boateng, and this one is it's almost, 22 years old. First time I heard this song was in the year 2001. And that's how we welcome you to the Citi Breakfast Show today, the 25th of September 2024. Thank you for choosing Citi. Taking it cool this morning. Few challenges technically with the news, but hey, we soldier on. And welcoming you to the News Review segment. We'll be going through those shortly. So the question is, what's the most important work you do every day? What's the most important thing you do every day? So it turns out that the most important thing you do is thinking. That's the most important thing you do, because your mind is your world. Your mind is your world. So yes, you may be a driver, you may be a teacher, a doctor, or a lawyer, or an engineer, but the most important work you do is thinking, because it's really the way you think that determines what you do. So that's the first thing. The second point is the most important part of you is your mind, because your mind is your world. And so your mind can take a thought and turn it into an experience. Your mind can take a thought. You can hear a song and then it takes you back 20 years, or takes you, I don't know. You can even begin to cry because of the song. So the message for the morning is you need to mind your mind. You need to mind your mind. That means that don't look. Some people, when stray dogs come to their house, they chase the dog out, right? They don't want flies or insects in their room. Yet they allow all kinds of garbage in their mind. They just scroll and watch anything. They listen to anything. How do you protect your room from flies, your house from stray dogs, but allow crap to enter your mind? Now, that's just not right. You understand? So you spend, like, maybe they are eating rice in the room and some fly comes and they'll be chasing the fly. Meanwhile, some fool has put something on social media which will not edify you. And then you'll just be happily watching it and forwarding it. So the question is, your room and your mind, which one is more important to you? So the point I'm making is that if you want to be effective, you need to learn how to mind your mind. So sometimes you deliberately ignore certain things. It's not everything that's trending that's useful. Put off those notifications, exit groups, deactivate some apps. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Keep your mind with all diligence. Proverbs 4:23. For out of it are the issues of life. So you must be diligent. In fact, one version says, guard it. Guard it. You be a soldier. Don't allow things to enter your mind, because your mind is like a garden. You know, it can birth very strange thoughts and lead you into very difficult situations. So my charge for you, mind your mind. Mind your mind. Because thinking is the most important work you do. Yeah, Business Sense brought to you by ADB, the People's Bank. Call us on 0302-210-210. Let's help you enjoy a better loan offering. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly agric and more. All right, so let me talk about the sponsors for the newspaper review now. And I like these guys. Total Energies, the new Excellium formula, a 3-in-1 power action that cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. It actually reduces your CO2 emissions as well. So experience the difference with Total Excellium, a new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. And every day is a new chapter to keep your dreams alive. One day a tabletop owner, tomorrow a shopfront owner. One day a student, tomorrow a lecturer. One day a borrower, tomorrow a bank manager. The list goes on, and we at Fidelity have committed to helping you transform those great plans into solid actions. Our purpose is to inspire your success and collaborate with you every step of the way. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. Ebefa. So let me say good morning to Richard Delasky.
Good morning, my brother. Like your phone.
You are dressed like a soldier.
Yes, so.
You know when they do the shirt and they put these things. I don't know the thing they put on the shoulder. What's it called?
Now I don't know. Is it commandant?
Yeah, you dress like a soldier.
Would you know that?
And Nathan is also looking good in the channel one.
Yes.
You know one of my biggest problems in life.
Talk to me.
The polo shirts and the t-shirts.
You know,
Charlie, I don't know.
Charlie, do your size.
I don't know.
But you have an idea of the size you wear.
You know, I wear a size 15. I wear a size 15 shirt. Slim fit.
15 shirt, slim fit. So that's a medium.
No, it's not. It's below. It's medium for Asians.
It's medium for Asians. For us Africans.
So apparently, you know, you can have the medium for Americans or the medium for Europeans.
Yes, that's true.
So if you say medium, sometimes it's big to it because the shirt looks so good on you.
Yeah.
Well,
but when I wear it,
we have to get yours. Then we will do our tracing. You know our tracing.
I don't know how they do this.
The guy wait, he go the road top. How did they call them?
The itinerant tailor.
Are they still around?
I haven't seen them in ages.
The guys who I used to see pound was the guys who used to sell powder in Medina.
Powder, okay.
He used to say, yes, powder, yes, powder. You know, as if he was praying in tongues.
Yeah. We had one in the Wishima.
How does he shout?
Dadago dia choka. Dadago dia choka.
It's like he's threatening you, guys.
You know the rubber you put inside your pants.
Yes, that's what he's selling.
Yeah, he says that rubber. So you people in Dadago, dear choker. Dadago.
Charlie, you know, Charlie, these are town criers. So. These are great gifts. So.
Those days, the Akesha.
Charlie, you know, Brandon has come to spoil some business.
What's the thing with all these online business?
Akesha,
bro.
You could use bath. You know, in those days, we used to have bathrooms outside.
For spray some pussy.
Charlie. So these days, the Akesha, they are only in Charlie.
Now is bleach.
Charlie,
and since
some way. Some things don't change, but some things do change.
Yep.
All right,
Anyway.
let's get into the headlines.
The Daily Guide is here, and before I say anything, I find the Daily Guide's headline quite troublesome and very troubling. Yesterday they did it, and today they've repeated.
What are they doing?
How is it that all the people who faced court, they've bunched all of
They say
them
they are
and
NDC
referred
people.
to them as NDC protesters?
That's wrong.
Yeah,
Daily Guide.
this is the second day they've done
Yeah,
that.
Daily Guide. That is
39
and
NDC
I've
protesters,
I've never said this, but I'll say that is extremely irresponsible.
Yeah, that's true.
So the pregnant woman who was picked up, is she an NDC supporter too? What
They
what
have
is
no
this?
business making
You have
that.
no business doing this tagging. It is senseless.
Yeah, so they are partisaning.
Yes,
and
it
they are
doesn't make
painting
sense.
them with a
It doesn't
brush.
make sense.
Maybe.
Let's move on to
So
other things.
all the other headlines do they have, by the way?
Akufo-Addo receives Global Citizen Award.
Mm-hmm.
Remove 584 voters from Asia South. Court orders.
Okay.
And Fair Wages clarifies Cloxa concerns,
Mm-hmm.
calls for dialogue, and TLF marks World Peace Day.
Okay, let me take you to the Chronicle. The big story says, I will cap the size of parliament, says Baumia in election 2024 manifesto. Also, stop attacking Electoral Commission. NAPO is cautioning the NDC. Engineering Council calls for robust regulatory outline to elevate standards. And then the Ochinhini is here. The story says Ochinhini fights for children in rural areas. And Democracy Hub protesters remanded, according to the Chronicle.
The News Center says Arda Turk, Ghana, sues GRA over planned asset auction, seeks injunction. Bamia proposes solar-powered outboard motors to solve premixed fuel issues for fisher folk. And Samson Ladi Anyenini says speed, predictability needed in election dispute resolutions.
Let me take you to the Herald newspaper. Massive rot at Ghana's Minerals Commission. A CEO and board chairperson frighten investors in mining industry. Another story here says Mahama slams government for lying about 100 public toilets and Woods MPP sympathizers in the Ahafo region. 40 Equiapem North Assemblymen accuse MP of misapplication of common fund, and Trafigura threatens Ghana with further embarrassment over unpaid $134 million judgment debt. Some other stories on the front page.
The Ghanaian publisher says, beware of Mahama, minister cautions nursing students. Zambian Energy Board in Ghana to study MPA's operations. Asenso Bachi optimistic of Abidjan-Lagos Highway project.
Let me take you to the new publisher. Bold solutions to premix field. Solar-powered outboard motors for fishermen. Comes with a photograph of Dr. Mahamudu Baumia. Also, the story surrounding Trafigura makes the front page of the new publisher. And then another story says that Dr. Baumia and the modern vice presidency in Ghana, Professor Eche Sikanku, unveils new book.
I see.
But that book was launched almost 5 months ago.
Okay.
Maybe now that they have seen their copy.
The Daily Post has Omane Boama speaking, and he says, EC afraid of releasing final voters register to us. And then the Trafigura story is here. They have a biggest or their biggest story, but I choose to ignore because I feel it's too sensitive to mention.
Okay. Let me take you to the Inquisitor. Looming crisis tension at Kolebu. CEO in the center of attraction. Also on the front page, there's a feature here that says wonderful wonders of competent, versatile NAPO's wonderful wonders of competent, versatile NAPO's campaign strategy.
Charlie, they
That's
are
how-
splattering the adjectives.
Charlie, anyhow. Also on the front page.
Alliteration.
These days it looks like Charlie, some people here they provoke them. So if he's talking or somebody will say something, then you see, you look at his the man boy won't tell us something, but don't be talk. NDC engages CSOs on voters register audit. Some
All
other
right.
story here that says, I'm not against mining. This is according to Dr. Premper.
If you go to the Daily Searchlight, it says responsible or irresponsible pledge. Police courts for chiefs. Baumia promises to lamp long-suffering economy with more expenditure. Gallery Soview to reopen with a new exhibition for Africa Prime Initiative grant recipients. And Lance Minister's advisor touts Ghana's mining potential at Expo. And then they have the petroleum prices here as of September
If the
18.
headline is confusing, you don't read it.
Sorry.
Don't confuse yourself.
The Republic Press says this morning, Ghana's food security intact
All right.
as PFJ 2 exceeds expectations. The minister is here on the front page. 39 unruly protesters caged, according to the Republic Press. Akufo-Addo urges global unity for peace and security at UN summit. Some other stories here on the front page. And finally to you.
Yes, the Informer. You are talking about the president in the United States, and he's pushing for reparation over slave trade. That's on page 5 of the Informer. But their biggest story says, don't endanger EC's credibility. Napo urges politicians and stop the theft, forgery, corruption. Else, Chief Justice cautions. That's on page 4 of the paper.
Okay, and the Accra Times says this morning, fallout from the University of Ghana's alumni lecture. Bagbin whips for Ghana over high attrition rate in Parliament.
All right.
Also on the front page this morning, ECG's financial woes. ASEP blames politicians. Says company not business oriented.
Channel 1 News Online, Akufo-Addo silence on Galamsey deafening. This is Kenneth Shigbe of the Media Coalition. He also says we'll push Baumia Mahama openly, or we'll push them until they openly denounce Galamsey. Benamona sued the EC over 2024 presidential race. Also, Freight Forwarders Trade Association's protest in Tema over exploitative port charges. And then the constituency, Cynthia Morrison must rescind her decision. Swedu Market Queen, we were in Swedu yesterday. And then, as we read yesterday, clarify your stance on illegal mining, coalition against Galamsey to House of Chiefs. Now, if you go to citinewsroom.com, the lead story, the free SHS, we've compromised quality for quantity. This is a UG lecturer. Also, it's time to reform UN's Unjust Security Council. Akufo-Addo says this. Napo wants Ashanti a vote for NDC is a wasted vote. And then in Ashanti region, a paramount chief of Atimokwa, I thought I was in the central region, has been dragged to court over alleged involvement in Galamsey. That's an interesting story. I'll give you the details of that. And then Mustafa Yusuf says, I'm not the West Sports Minister in Ghana.
Okay.
So that thing keeps coming up. If you go to my Joe Online, this paramount chief linguist and 2 others before Kumasi High Court of alleged Galamsey is their lead story. And then, of course, journalist apology not enough to satisfy Asante Hene is another story there. And then lawyer for arrested protesters calls out Ghana police tactics. He says nobody's more lawless than the police. And then UCC impasse, concerned UTAG members of UCC accuse its leadership of taking unilateral decisions. Then a few more stories. Class FM, Trafigura threatens to seize Ghana's assets. You read that story already. And then the Ministry of Finance says arrangements have been made to settle the $111 million debt to Trafigura. All right, so let's get into the details.
Okay, let's take off from the courts. The Chronicle has a story. Democracy Hub protesters remanded. Benis Besse reporting this morning says about 40 members of the activist group Democracy Hub were arraigned at the Accra or the Circuit Court in Accra on multiple charges, including conspiracy to commit unlawful assembly, causing unlawful damage, and assault on a public officer. Now, the accused appeared in groups of 4 before judges Kwabena Kodia Ubiri Yeboah and Evelyn Adomwa on September 25, 2024. Now, they provided the names of all the... Say it again.
It's supposed to be September 24.
Oh, okay, September 24. Okay, they've made it 25 for some reason. And then they provided the names of all the people who appeared. They were remanded into police and prison custody with their next court day set for October 8 and 11, 2024, respectively. Now, a bench warrant was also issued for Grace Asantewa, who failed to appear in court despite being on police investigation.
Meanwhile, one of the lawyers for the group is not happy. Prince Ganaku has expressed frustration over police handling of the protests and how it undermined the essence of law they claim to enforce. He raised concern about the police decision to secure an ex-parte injunction just 2 days before the protest, despite having received notification months in advance. He highlighted the tactics employed by the police, particularly in denying the protesters access to legal representation. And then he also condemned the police for abusing their power and acting as though they were above the law. He was speaking yesterday.
Staying with the courts, if you go to the Ashanti region, a magistrate court in Kumasi has ordered the EC to return 584 voters to their original constituencies after discovering that they had fraudulently transferred their votes to the Menchia South constituency. The decision aims to maintain the integrity of the electoral process and prevent voter manipulation. The court, presided over by Deborah Jewa Donko, reached the decision after repeated no-shows on 3 separate occasions by the affected voters who failed to defend their eligibility to transfer to Menchia South. Ousu Bempa, Menchia South constituency NPP research and elections officer, uncovered a shocking surge in voter transfers to the constituency during the voter transfer exercise. Suspecting foul play, the NPP led by parliamentary candidate Nana J. Bafwewa took the matter to court. The party produced landlords as witnesses, revealing that 584 individuals had illegally used their addresses as residences.
Well, that's a good one. Meanwhile, High Court in Kumasi has ordered the paramount chief of the Atimokwa traditional area, Osiadeyo Kwesi Kenin IV, to cease operations on a concession belonging to Kadesh Mining Enterprise after being accused of engaging in illegal mining, also known as galamsey. The chief, who allegedly employed both Ghanaian and Chinese nationals for the illegal mining, was sued by the management of the Kadesh Mining Enterprise. The company claims that the chief and his associates have been illegally operating on their concession despite a pending injunction on the matter. Now, Kadesh Mining holds the proper license for the concession and has yet to commence operations. So this is not as if they are against mining. They want to do the mining. So it's more like somebody has come into my concession and is mining.
Okay.
But I felt like, you know, it's a good watershed moment if a court can order a group to stop mining. But of course, that's because somebody went to court, right? The owners of the land are the ones who have to go to court if they believe the land is being violated, which is why we say galamsey takes place with the acquiescence of the chiefs, because a lot of times the land belongs to the chiefs. All right, now, meanwhile, the company argues that the chiefs have no legal right to mine on their land.
Yeah, so these are stood lands.
Sorry, but the concession was given to somebody, and then the chief and another group went there. So it's a good story to keep an eye on.
Okay, let me stay with the courts, because this story is in almost all the newspapers. Trafigura chases Ghana over $111 million. Now, Logi Mawena Jessica, writing for the new publisher on page 3, says Trafigura, which is a subsidiary of Ghana Power Generation Company Limited, has written to the government of Ghana to demand the immediate payment of an amount of $111 million the country owes the company. Now, in a letter addressed to Ghana's Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, and copied to the Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame, GPCG informed them that it has officially begun the legal process to enforce an arbitral award it had in South Africa. Now, this follows their letter dated September 20, 2024, which, according to the company, has not yet received a response from the government of Ghana. Now, we are told that they intend to go after our assets somewhere in South Africa.
Now, the government of Ghana has responded to this to the Ministry of Finance, and the government has reiterated its commitment to fulfilling its obligations under the settlement agreement with Trafigura, because I think the impression was being created that government was not willing to play and that some of our assets could be seized. Now, in a response, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Amin Adam, clarified that the letter reflects ongoing discussion. The letter had been circulated, which is the source of the story you read, reflects ongoing discussions to settle the claims, assuring that necessary arrangements have been made to honor the outstanding payments following several rounds of negotiations. So the question is, who took the decision to terminate that GPGC agreement, leading to the arbitral award of $111 million against us, a country that's struggling with debt exchange and all the problems? So the ministry writes or wishes to assure that the state has made necessary arrangements to pay off the outstanding claims. Charlie agreed with Trafigura after several rounds of negotiations. We are therefore surprised at the circulation of this letter on social media. Well, let's get other stories.
Yeah, just before you come in, there's another story in the space, because the Herald is saying the massive rot at Ghana's Minerals Commission, and says Ghana may be setting itself up for another international legal battle over perceived hostile business practices by the Minerals Commission, with accusations directed at his board chairperson, Barbara Otingyesi, and the chief executive officer, Martin AC. This controversy is threatening investor confidence in the country's mining sector. Now, the Herald's contacts at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources reveal that the Minerals Commission CEO, Martin AC, and his board chair, Barbara Otingyesi, who is also the former member of parliament for the Prestia-Huni Valley constituency, have made decisions exceeding their regulatory roles. Now, these actions have reportedly alarmed foreign mining companies operating in the country, and it goes on to provide further details. If you're interested in that story, please grab a copy of the Herald newspaper.
If you go to page 3 of the Ghanaian publisher, the Minister of Roads and Highways, Francis Asenso-Boakye, is here, and he's reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to working with relevant ministers in the sub-region for the early completion of the Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway Development Project. He pledged to, quote, work vigorously and enthusiastically towards achieving the vision of a seamless and integrated ECOWAS, of which this corridor project is a milestone. And he was speaking at the 21st Ministerial Steering Committee meeting for the Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Project in Lagos, Nigeria, over the weekend.
Freight Forwarders Trade Association's protest in Tema over exploitative port charges. We reported their intention yesterday. Yesterday they did protest.
Yes.
Now, the GIF customs agents and other concerned stakeholders embarked on a protest in Tema in the Greater Accra region, expressing their displeasure against what they describe as exploitative charges at the ports. According to them, this makes the cost of doing business at the port burdensome. They marched into the various shipping lines to present their petition, after which they served same to the Ministries of Trade and Transport. Speaking to Channel 1 News, Ms. Marco Kansi, a freight forwarder, he was deeply dissatisfied with the current port operations, claiming that the high fees are driving importers to seek alternatives. He highlighted the impact of unexpected costs on their operations.
Okay.
He also said the shipping lines are cheating them. So, yeah, those were some of the issues. Now, Justice Atuguba raises concern about Superior Court appointments. This came in yesterday. Let me just give you the highlight. Former Supreme Court Judge Justice William Atuguba has expressed concern regarding recent appointments to the Superior Court. According to him, senior judges are being overlooked in favor of less qualified candidates due to factors unrelated to merit or established protocols. He also questioned the integrity of the selection process, suggesting that the considerations outside the accepted norms may be influencing these judicial appointments. Speaking to Joy News, Justice Atuguba said, the thing with this country is people just love to take the power and subvert it. They take the power, they subvert it. That's what's happening. They feel that they have the power. That is not the power in the appointment system. Why must some senior and more competent justices be left while others with less experience are posted to the highest courts? What is that about?
Yeah.
He quizzed. Now, don't forget, he presided over the 9-member election petition panel in 2012. All right. So, yeah.
Actually, 2013.
Yes, for the 2012 election.
Yeah. Just to wrap up, though, if you go to the Accra Times, the Honourable Bagbin, the Right Honourable Bagbin, Speaker of Parliament, is not happy about the attrition rate we have in Parliament. He thinks that the institution is losing a lot of experienced MPs, and some of them who just come in just get kicked out, just like that, and he's asking that something be done about it. The Accra Times has the details of that story.
Let me read a couple of stories. So, Israel intercepts Hezbollah missile fired at Mossad in Tel Aviv, and there's an analysis. Israel is gambling Hezbollah will crumble, but it faces a well-armed and angry enemy. And we're also told that this Lebanon attack has changed the Middle East.
Oh, Charlie,
then whilst we are on that one, Zelensky looks to Biden to back Ukraine's quote-unquote victory plan. So they are not backing down anytime soon. Russia and Ukraine are also fighting. And then there's another one. China test fires ICBM for first time in decades. Do you know what an ICBM means?
Well, intercontinental.
Yeah, intercontinental ballistic. So China too is doing its own. So Russia, Ukraine, they fight. Israel, Hezbollah, they fight. China too, they fight. So just manage our own.
All of these are happening in
Charlie,
countries that people are hungry. Charlie?
Let's manage our own.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Otherwise, Charlie.
Some way.
It's ICBM.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine. engine and giving it a protector. And what they boss my mind says be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish Magobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand the Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
The gogo.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Charlie, today the matter will catch me. I received urgent order from my online store. Customer wants 10 pieces sharp. But my wahala be delivery. Stress so me too. I no get order in weeks. So then I make slow. Charlie, I decide to deliver this thing myself. Quiet. I was willing to trust my small tired car like that. But boy, I no even leave my area where the whole place full of snow. Engine kaput, pasca. As the boys they help me push the car off the road, where I look up and raise my head, where I see for Fidelity Bank billboard top. This too just be chapter Ebefampa. Then Norma Vim come. Listen, I dog the sadness and find Okada fast. I deliver all the goods, collected my money, and even got referrals from this customer. Ebefampa. At Fidelity Bank, we believe you can achieve your dreams. Believe with us, Ebefa.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
City Business News with Neil Latte. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello to you out there. To midweek, welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. Coming up this morning, United Arab Emirates emerges top destination for Ghana's gold export as the commodity continues its dominance in export value. Meanwhile, extractive sector analysts criticize proposed plans for the establishment of a minerals development bank. We hear from Dr. Steve Mantia. Plus, printing press operators appeal to political parties to support the industry through local contracts this election year. My name is Sni Latte. Details of our stories now. Gold bullion led Ghana's export with a value of 37 billion Ghana cedis, accounting for 57.6% of total exports. The United Arab Emirates emerged as the leading destination for Ghana's gold export, surpassing both Switzerland and South Africa. This was contained in the latest Ghana Statistical Service second quarter trade data. Here is government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Inim providing a breakdown of the data.
With the exception of minerals and fuels, which is led by United Arab Emirates, we see in 5 other classifications, including machinery and electrical equipment, China leading with 41.5%, iron and steel, China leading with 70.5%, chemical products, China leading with 29.7%, plastics also China leading with 33.4%. So in 5 out of the 10 classifications of commodities for the computation of export and import values, we see China commanding 5 lead positions out of the 10 classifications. This translates into the overall picture of our imports with China against the rest of the world. China commands about 1/5 of Ghana's total imports, specifically 20.9% for the second quarter of 2024.
Professor Samuel Kobna is government statistician. Meantime, the UK government is cautioning against the wanton smuggling of gold in Ghana, expressing worry about its negative impact on the contribution of the sector to revenue generation. It says unregulated mining practices coupled with illegal small-scale mining, also known as galamsey, if left unchecked, will continue to have dark consequences on the Ghanaian economy. Team lead for the UK Ghana Gold Programme, Chris Aston, added CSO's meeting with some political parties on mining reforms and governance demanded swift action from authorities to reverse the trend.
Estimates say that the Ghanaian government loses $2 billion a year in lost tax revenues. We also know that it can fund foreign nationals, it can fund criminals and potentially even extremist groups. In 2022, there was more gold smuggled from Ghana than any other African country. 60 tons from 2022 smuggled out of Ghana. And all of that was lost revenue to the Ghanaian government. This sector is vulnerable to being exploited by organised crime groups and others, and we know that the threat's growing. The estimates also say that gold smuggling in Africa has more than doubled between 2012 and 2022. So this threat is growing.
Chris Aston is team lead for the UK Ghana Gold Programme, a while longer on the extractive sector because stakeholders there are casting doubt about the possibility of a minerals development bank improving financial intermediation in the mining industry. Some of the analysts, including Dr. Steve Mantiao, foresee potential challenges regarding transparency and governance if such a dedicated bank is not properly managed. He tells Citi Business News a specialized bank will be rendered redundant because there are already financial institutions capable of supporting the mining sector.
It doesn't really sit well with me that you collapse about 13 to 14 banks in this country to come and set up another bank to achieve the objective of providing finance to the mining sector. I have suggested in private conversations as feedback to consider using existing financial infrastructure. We recently set up the Ghana Development Bank. We also have in existence the National Investment Bank. What is it that you want to do that you couldn't use these two banks to do and avoid the cost that comes with setting up an entirely new bank, especially when you are under an IMF program?
Dr. Steve Mantiao is an extractive sector analyst. Some economists are forecasting a positive outcome of the third review of Ghana's IMF program. The IMF mission team yesterday began a 2-week assessment of the country's performance on the $3 billion bailout package. Economic watchers point to the current disinflation path and the expansion of the economy as potential indicators for a successful review. Finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Patrick Esumin, has been speaking to Citi Business News.
If you look at the indicators that they focus on, the macroeconomic targets that they are going to focus on, we've seen how they have assessed the program and then also some of the other performance indicators. I think, obviously, we've recently heard that the Ghana Statistical Survey recently told us that the growth rate was 6.9, which is way higher than expected. Then they are going to say the inflation rate is now. It's the currency that has struggled, but also even the government fiscal targets, based on the recent information from the Bank of Ghana, it appears that up to this point, the government is sticking to the projected targets for the year. So I generally expect that the IMF the review will turn out to be positive and they are going to approve the next round.
You heard economist Professor Patrick Esumin there. Let's turn our attention to expenditure and revenue associated with elections, delving into a series of the business of elections as we take a look at the local printing industry. In the lead up to the elections, printing press operators within the Accra Newtown enclave are urging political candidates to support their businesses. These local enterprises believe that by patronizing their services, politicians can significantly bolster the local economy, create jobs, and foster community growth. My colleague Emmanuel Opon was at the printing hub and has filed this report.
As the 2024 electioneering season gains momentum, the printing industry has become one of the largest beneficiaries of the season business opportunities, with a growing demand for various party paraphernalia ranging from branded souvenirs, t-shirts, posters, flyers, among others. Business owners are increasingly turning their trading fortunes around. A recent visit to Accra Newtown, the city's printing hub, revealed that most of the outlets are positioning themselves as vital players in the election process. although many of the operators are recording low patronage from political actors compared to the previous electioneering year. Anobosom Pim, who has been in the printing business for over 10 years, explains some of the challenges they face in attracting political clientele and how he believes their support could impact the local economy.
The politicians or our leaders will have to help us to help others. That's what I must say, because if they take the businesses out from Ghana, they take the business from the local market, how will you get money to pay our bills and pay our workers? Or they should try as much as possible to give us the contract, to put their contracts in the local market, so that it will help us to also employ others. It will help us to also expand.
Another operator who preferred to remain anonymous expressed frustration over the competition posed by foreign businesses.
Now in Ghana here, like I said, we are facing two problems here. The Chinese are here. They are doing retail and they are giving cheaper costs in producing t-shirts. We are here and have employed a lot of Ghanaians. Why do you expect us to charge that cheap and we cannot even pay?
My colleague Emmanuel upon with that report. This Saturday, all eyes will be at the Eden Heights Sports Complex in Wager as corporate Ghana comes together for the highly anticipated sporting spectacle of the year, the Citi Business Olympics, powered by Channel 1 TV with support from Citi FM. The event promises a day full of thrilling competitions across various fun-filled sporting activities.
They say all work and no play makes Jack all Jackie Dow. So in the spirit of fitness and fun, Channel 1 TV and Citi FM will host business entities on September 28, giving them a chance to showcase their athletic abilities, build team spirit, and enjoy a day of recreation. Over 60 companies will be competing in this annual event at the Eden Heights Sports Complex in Wager. Competitors will battle it out for top honors and trophies in various sports, including basketball, seven-a-side football, arm wrestling, lime and spoon races, sack races, tug of war, ludo, chess, and owari. Frema Edunyame is the head of events and partnerships at Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, and she shares insight into some of the exciting games to expect.
If you are coming to CBO, expect to participate or come witness games like the seven-a-side football, the volleyball, the lawn tennis, swimming, all the various board games. We are having the Scrabble, we are having the chess, we have Owari, we have Ludo, we have playing cards, we have table tennis, we have draft, we have everything you can think of, the lineman spoon. You know, people might think that lineman spoon is a very easy sport to participate in, but you need a lot of alertness, you need a lot of track, a lot of attention, you know, just to be able to carry a line on a spoon to the distance as opposed to cover. We have the tug of war. We have the sack race. Sack race is really great to test your stamina. How well can you hop from one place to the other? This is a game for you to come in and show what you can do, your powers, your form, your feet, you know, and all that.
In the meantime, the Union Chemist team has declared their intention to dominate this year's games.
Next year will be our 30th year, so to commemorate that, we want to see almost every trophy available. But next year, they are very kinky. Okay, so for us as a business, we believe in cultivating positive brand association. And then when it comes to branding, Citi FM and Citi TV is a very known brand for credibility and then all that. And so, I mean, for us to be able to achieve that, we decided to associate ourselves this year as well.
The Citi Business Olympics 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM. Sponsors include Piva Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Bethel Logistics, and Lozati Lozenges from Unicom Chemist Limited. With a wide variety of games and over 60 companies competing in this year's edition of the Citi Business Olympics, it will be interesting to watch out for which team emerges as the overall winner in this sporting event. For CNR Business.
And so you had the all work and no play makes Jack what you completed. If you don't want to be a dull boy, let's meet at the Eden High Sports Complex at Wager this Saturday to engage in some great sportsmanship. And that's it for the breakfast edition of City Business News. But before I go, let me take you to the forex market. The dollar could be sold to you at 16 cedis 50 pesos. The British pound selling at 20 cedis 30 pesos. And the euro going for 18 cedis 20 pesos. My name is Nila Atilati. Do have a good business day.
You see them. You see them every day in our communities, doing what they do best to make a difference in the lives of people. You see them. You see them bring positive transformation to the lives of people in the areas of education, health, and economic empowerment. While many will see them and turn their faces away, you see them. You see their efforts, and you know they're heroes who deserve to be celebrated. MTN Heroes of Change is setting out to unearth and to celebrate a new set of heroes. You can throw the light on the heroes you see in your community by nominating them to win 100,000 Ghana cedis and other prizes to help them expand their work. Just fill an online nomination form at mtn.com.gh or send a WhatsApp with a 1-minute video of your nominee's project on 055 141 1122. Deadline for nominations is 18th October 2024, so don't waste time. Nominate your hero now. MTN Heroes of Change. Be the change you wish to see.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
7:14, the City Business News was brought to us by MTN. Get ready for a game changer, SMEs. We're introducing Yellow Biz, our new multi-service bundle with everything you need for smarter business solutions. It's an all-in-one package consisting of a 4G plus router with 10 gig of free data, Microsoft Office 365, Webways, a customized business website for your business, and Unicom Service, a unified business communication solution for your virtual call center, IVR, and conference needs. To stay ahead of the competition, call 100 or 0244308111 or email us at mtnbusiness.gh@mtn.com. Before we get into the sports news, happy birthday to Mrs. Felicia Addo. You are an English tutor at Vine Christian School. Yeah, enjoy your day this 25th day of September. Mrs. Felicia Addo of Vine Christian School, you're celebrating your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. There's a winner who's here. Yes. And he's here, Ketsi Zonda Ghana, your one-stop shop for quality trucks, Shantui bulldozers, excavators, graders, payloaders, rollers, and more. At Zonda, we do not only create opportunities and empower people, we provide top-notch after-sales support. We are at several places, 7 branches across Ghana. Off the Tema Flower Road is where our head office is. Call 050-177-2222. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana. And of course, Polytank is also proud to be associated with Kick-Off. Today, money is difficult to come by. That's why it's even more important that you buy trusted and time-tested brands. When it comes to water storage tanks in Ghana, the name we all know is Polytank. For over 30 years, we've been trusted by all these generations. So get guaranteed quality. Choose Polytank. Polytank near Papa no near. By the way, Polytank does not request for Momo payments online.
Good morning, welcome aboard to Kickoff. My name is Gabi Offer, and in the next 10 minutes, we'll look ahead to this.
The relative advantage will not be there. It's like we are now going to play in a neutral, on a neutral ground. It is really embarrassing. Without missing words, I would want to say that we shouldn't have gotten to where we've gotten to. It's an embarrassment.
The clock is ticking with regards to where the Black Stars will play its next home game against Sudan. It's an embarrassment, that's according to Galka boss Kujo Fianu. Plus, we check out results from the Carabao Cup matches from last night and build up to today's game. And later tonight, we've got San Europa matches coming up. All right, so let's start off with his chairperson for the Parliamentary Select Committee for Sports, Wisdom Kobna William, has described Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf as defensive during a hearing over expenses made during Ghana's disastrous 2023 AFCON campaign. Well, Mustafa Yusuf provided some details about how $3 million was spent on Ghana's contingent at the 2023 AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, despite the country crashing out at the group stage after failing to win a game in the competition.
In fact, I'll have to go into that critically. The breakdown, he made mention of a few things, but then we'll have to go, into it, critically to know exactly whether what he said is anything to take away. And of course, I've made it known to him that if we are not satisfied about some items or some aspects of whatever engagement we have had today, we may invite him to come and put further, light on some of those things. So that is what. So it's always good to put him on notice about that possibility. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll go back with the few documents that we have, including what he tendered in, to now go into it and see.
Talk to me about his body language in regards to some of the questions he asked. Of course, with the youth resource centers, and especially again on the money that will be spent. What did you make about him?
I think he was defensive. And I expect that from him, because he will not come here and just sit to listen to anything. So, yes, he was defensive. And so we will tease out what we need to tease out in everything.
And so that's the chairperson for the Parliamentary Select Committee for Sport, Wisdom Kobna William, speaking to Citi Sports there. Well, some other reactions from the sit-in yesterday, and there was one on the ban from CAF on the Barbara Sports Stadium. Mustafa Yusuf stated that the Confederation of African Football is yet to respond to requests for inspections of the Accra and Cape Coast Sports Stadia. Well, the GFA is under pressure to choose a venue for the Black Stars' upcoming home match after CAF revoked its conditional approval of the Barbara Sports Stadium.
Currently, as we speak, we have four, like I mentioned, we have 4 of our clubs already using it. 4 clubs are using it. Why? Because we are rehabilitating the Accra Sports Stadium and also Cape Coast Sports Stadium. They have closed them down, and we are rehabilitating the pitch to improve the pitch to the standard that is required because of the heavy use that we have used our pitches. Not that we don't have a FIFA standard. We have FIFA standard pitches in Ghana. We have 1 in Accra, 2 in Accra. That's here, Accra Sports Stadium and Lagos Sports Stadium. We have Baba Yara Sports Stadium, FIFA standard. We have FIFA standard Cape Coast. We are renovating Esipon Sports Stadium. Currently, because of the sea, the closeness of the sea to the stadium, the metal got damaged, rust, and they have to blast all those metals, take the roof off. Now they are re-roofing. They've done all those works and they are re-roofing. Very soon, it's also going to be completed. So it is not true that we don't have FIFA standard stadium facilities in Ghana. It's not.
Blasters play there, and their qualified matches, can they play at the UG Park?
CAF, it is up to the CAF inspectors to come and decide. We have written to them, and they are yet to respond.
And so that's Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf speaking there. Let's start with that. And according to reports, Ghana's next home match against Sudan in October, that's the October qualifiers, will be held in Libya. Well, Galka President Kujofiano expressed disappointment, calling it a shame for the country to play its home games outside Ghana.
That's a big one. We should have gotten where we've gotten to now, that we have to move out. Now, the cost element is there. Now, instead of play here in Ghana, camping here in Ghana, you have to move out. And the relative advantage will not be there. It's like we are now going to play in a neutral, on a neutral ground. It is really embarrassing. Without missing words, I would want to say that we should have gotten to where we've gotten to. It's an embarrassment, and we need to move beyond that. And if I am to be made a scapegoat, why not? The signal have been there for some time now. We go and ad hoc solution to the problem. Now we've been caught in the web. Very, very embarrassing. I've not yet. It happened to it started as a rumor that we'll be going to Cote d'Ivoire, but if it is Libya now, and that is being confirmed that we are playing in Libya, too bad for Ghana.
Galka boss Kujofiano speaking to City Sports. Then the session will resume today at 10 a.m. featuring the National Sports Authority and the Ghana Football Association. They'll meet to the Parliamentary Select Committee on Youth and Sports, chaired by Honorable Komna Mensa William. To some women football, and Yusuf Bazigi will leave Azakes ladies after an impressive 21-year tenure with plans to join Tanzania's Simba Queens. Now, Bazigi played a pivotal role in the formation of Azakes ladies back in 2003 and has been part of the tech team, eventually becoming the head coach. And under his stewardship, Azakes ladies have achieved remarkable success, including winning a record 4 Premier League women's titles. While in Europe, Christopher Nkunku scored a hat-trick as Chelsea cruising to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup with a convincing 5-0 win over League 2 side Barrow at Stamford Bridge. We hear from Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca.
Could be. The problem is the balance of defensive balance, because we can think to play with Nicolas, Cristo, Joao, Cole Palmer, Noni, fantastic. But then who is defending? Me and you. We go. We need to run back. The problem is I would like to put all of them, because I really like football and I really like to keep the ball. The problem is that when you lose the ball, and then you have to defend, and not all of them they can defend at the same level.
So that's Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca speaking there. Well, some results from last night's Leicester City are through to the next round. Aston Villa also are through after beating League One side Wycombe Wanderers. Manchester City also beat Watford by 2-0. 2-1 rather. It was Matteo Nunes and Jeremy Doku. And some more games later today, Arsenal will take on Bolton. Liverpool face West Ham United at 6:45 p.m. And for the Europa League, Dynamo Kiev will take on Lazio. Galatasaray is up against PAOK. Ludogorets take on Slavia Prague. Nice will play Real Sociedad. Manchester United will play FC 20. We are from United defender Nasir Mazraoui on working with Erik ten Hag.
Because you have to decide if the manager and his way of seeing football fits into your way how you play your football. And yeah, that was for me like with him, and I knew him already. I knew his way of seeing the game, and that and his style really fits into how I play, and that's really a big factor. That you work beforehand with him. It's also making it easier, because I knew always what he expected from me, and he knew it. He knows it from my side as well. So I think seeing those things, it makes it easier. But eventually, what I already said, like it was not the only factor to come to this big of a club.
That's United defender Nasir Mazraoui speaking there. Well, Wolves defender Yasin Mosquera is expected to miss the rest of the season with a serious knee injury. And UEFA has also reopened the bidding for stadiums to host the 2027 Champions League final after the match was stripped off from AC Milan. Before we leave, Rafael Varane has retired from football at the age of 31. He has 4 Champions League titles, 3 Madrid titles, the EFL and FA Cups with Manchester United. In 2018 he won the World Cup with France. So all the best to Rafael Varane. That's the sports. For more, you can head to City Sports Online. That's coming on X at City Sports JJ. Back later 5 p.m. with Sport Flash. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Shell, Le Shell, Zonda JH and Polytangana. My name is Gabi Ofe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
Hey, well, yo, I did tire for Abu Chef. See, everything I do, Abu won't do some. Last year, I bought a cattle farm in Yanton. I see he go buy a farm next to mine. I marry Fauzia. No, he marries Fauzia's sister. I buy my motorbike. I see, no, he go buy motorbike too.
But you know, since you buy your bike, he has bought 4 motorbikes, which have all broken down. You know, they maintain bikes at all.
His problem be say he dey put wrong lubricant for his bike inside. The correct motorbike oil where if you put inside be Shell Advanced Lubricant. Shell Advanced Lubricant be the only motorbike oil where they make them for motorbike to protect engine, clutch and brake. Wait, no. Wait me, wallahi, I no go tell him. Sir. Hey, well, wait, where you go?
If you don't go tell Abu, me I dey go tell him say make you use Shell Advanced Lubricant for him bike.
Hey.
Visit any Shell station or distributor today to get your Shell Advanced Lubricant for your motorbike. Shell Advance, complete protection for your bike.
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract I've been chasing for years now? I just got awarded the deal, but the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light-duty trucks, and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, poor pickups, 4-land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks, made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sale service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing.
You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office? Strong, durable, and tough on our roads.
Hey, that's from Zonda too?
Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy.
Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light-duty trucks, located at Tema, off their Flower Road. Call 0501-772-222 or 0501-773-333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Electroland Ghana Limited is back with a massive back-to-school promo. Visit EGL showrooms and authorized dealer stores across Ghana for best offers on Samsung, Media, TCL, and NASCO products. Get a free portable audio speaker with the 50-inch NASCO Android UHD Smart TV, 99 Ghana cedis, and say no to cold meals. Get a free cake mixer with the 4-burner media gas cooker. Call 0503-159-739 for more information. Electroland Ghana Limited, home of electronics and appliances. Terms and conditions apply.
The Births and Deaths Registry beckons all of us to forge a future where every death is duly recorded and every Ghanaian life is cherished and remembered. To help capture these moments, registration is absolutely free up to 10 days after losing a loved one. For registration of deaths, make sure to have a medical certificate of cause of death or the coroner's report. Remember that registering deaths is not just a formality, but a way to cherish the memories of those we hold dear and leave a lasting legacy for future generations. This This may seem like a small step, but its impact on the entire community is immense. Our offices are open from Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. This message is brought to you by BEVS and DEVS Registry under the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, supported by the Public Sector Reform for Resource Project and the World Bank. Call 030-394-41222 or visit www.pdr.gov.gh for further details. From the first cry to bidding farewells, everyone counts. Register now.
It's time to dream big. The Public Employment Center near you can help unlock the potential of your business. Are you starting a business, looking for the right job, or seeking guidance on your career path? The Labor Department got this.
Empower your dreams. The future is bright. The Labor Department is guiding your light. Empower your dreams. The future is bright. Your Labor Department is doing things right.
The Labor Department office in Ghana is dedicated to promoting fair labor practices, protecting workers' rights, supporting job placements, empowering individuals, and empowering female business owners through its services and initiatives. Empower your dreams. Make them come true. Your Labor Department has free business coaching for micro business owners or entrepreneurs. Visit the Public Employment Center in Accra, adjacent Kempinski Hotel, or call 053-9165-608 today to register for free business coaching on entrepreneurship, financial literacy, digital marketing, etc. The Labor Department, your free employment services provider.
I am Ohinere Gifty Auntie. You see, it always feels good when you receive that salary alert. I made a bold decision to invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan. And this means that I will get these alerts every month throughout retirement for the rest of my life. You too can retire on your own terms. So invest a lump sum in the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan today and enjoy guaranteed monthly income for life. Call Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or visit oldmutual.com.gh to sign up today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
This one day give and take, your friend who good exchange. Puma Gasaba, blue cylinder, clean and safe. Hey, this one day give and take, your friend who good exchange. Puma Gasaba, blue cylinder, clean and safe. Hey, take empty from your food. All we knew, no more stress. Good exchange with Puma.
Get ready for the ultimate battle of business minds at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Join us for a day of intense competition, team building and networking as companies go head-to-head in various challenges to prove your skills and expertise. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race and volleyball to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline pumping action. Don't miss out on this exciting event that will test your business acumen and athletic skills on the field. Date: Saturday, 28th September 2024. Venue: Eden Heights Sports Complex, Wager. Time: 8 a.m. Call 0558-973-973 for details on how you can participate and showcase your company's talents at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Get ready to compete, collaborate, and conquer. The Citi Business Olympics 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Beaver Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Bethel Logistics, experts in shipping logistics, and Losati Lozenges from Unicom Chemist Limited. Get ready for the ultimate battle of business minds at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Join us for a day of intense competition, team building and networking as companies go head-to-head in various challenges to prove your skills and expertise. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race and volleyball to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline pumping action. Don't miss out on this exciting event that will test your business acumen and athletic skills on the field. Date: Saturday, 28th September 2024. Venue: Eden Heights Sports Complex, Wager. Time: 8 a.m. Call 0558-973-973 for details on how you can participate and showcase your company's talents at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Get ready to compete, collaborate, and conquer. The Citi Business Olympics 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Beaver Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Bethel Logistics, experts in shipping logistics, and Losati Lozenges from Unicom Chemist Limited. Get ready for the ultimate battle of business minds at the Citi Business Olympics.
Stone Boy. I don't know whether this guy is called Jinton or Ginton. I'm sure, Stone Boy with JJJ with Jinton, featuring Stone Boy. Good morning, Citi team. Please wish a wonderful Uncle Gerard Yao W a happy birthday from Deladem and Delalom Togbo. And then Selom Jikuno is at Berekusu, celebrating a birthday today as well.
Alright, this one is from our very good friend Bernard Dankwa of the ECG. Right. And he and his wife Jifa are wishing their very good friend Mrs. Hannah Asante Abrokwa of the ECG Projects Office a happy birthday. The message is: we love you dearly and wish you a joyous day celebrated in love.
And of course, Mrs. Feliciado of Vine Christian School, happy birthday to you as well.
Family, you know, yeah.
Let me use this opportunity to celebrate a good brother and friend, Eche Michael of Pem Madeira. He's the chief executive of that wonderful company producing furniture and all kinds of fittings for your room. If you want to do anything like that, you have to call Eche. Eche is my man. Solid guy. Solid guy. So Eche, Charlie, you are a great man. You are doing great things. May God continue to bless you.
This guy, they like doing So let me read something Franklin Kujo posted, which I thought was interesting. It says on anti-galamsey illegal mining demonstrations, it says ordinarily it should not take another demonstration for the government to act. Many have spoken and written about the devastating impact of legal mining. How did the president respond this time? By setting up the weakest committee ever to go over many wasting hours of lamentations, when more persuasive and punitive recommendations from earlier commissioned inquiries could have been activated. One such report submitted by the sacked Minister for Science and Environment, Dr. Frimpong Boateng, fearlessly named politically exposed persons and government-backed kingpins engaged in illegal mining. That report has been discarded by the government and the character of its author carelessly shredded by the governing party foot soldiers and galamsey kingpins. No wonder many serious actors have openly said they are not going to meet the impotent committee the president has set up. They see through the charade, and the president isn't even putting up a facade of honoring his own sworn promise of putting his presidency on the line to deal with the deliberately orchestrated mess. Where in the world is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his running mate in all of the comedy of errors? Anyone heard of or seen the two campaigning to be bold with bold solutions for the future? Demand or suggest how we tackle arguably the second most devastating creation with lasting impact on the living and the unborn after the most pernicious economic ruin and escalated poverty in half a century? What a mess. Franklin Kujo can write. I had something yesterday that worried me a lot, and I'm going to give you a bit more of it. So just during the prime news at midday yesterday, a voice clip was aired of Professor Kwesi Enin, who I interviewed, I think, 2 weeks ago. But he basically described Ghana as a galam state. And for me, the reason this worried me is a descriptor like that suggests more than simply the prevalence of galamsey. So when a state is described as a galam state, based on the way he explained it, suggests that the forces in this type of activity have captured the state. They influence our politics, our media, our society, and essentially control the country. Now, we're going to hear the full voice clip soon to put the whole thing in context, but it's very troubling because, of course, we know in some countries, gangs of different interests, whether it's drug gangs or criminal gangs, find a way of penetrating police, different strata of society, and wreak a lot of havoc. And for the professor to describe Ghana as a galam state due to the failure of state actors to clamp down on illegal mining is very worrying. Let me give you a quick highlight of that speech. I'll play the full thing later on. This is what he said yesterday.
Ghana has now been characterized as a galam state. And what do we mean when we say Ghana has become a galam state? A galam state is where we are seeing a country in a gradual descent like a narco state. It is a state that is captured and linked to higher forms of grand corruption. In a galam state, the practice is normalized and the people are silenced or limited to mere noises on the sidelines. In a galam state, it's identified by a state in which its institutions have been captured. That is the legislature, the executive, the judiciary, the regulatory agencies, public works ministries, by large private firms, political leaders, high-ranking officials, interest groups such as transnational organized criminal networks. More importantly, in a galam state, there is a perfect blend between criminally minded politicians and politically minded criminal gangs.
Criminally minded politicians and politically minded criminal gangs. What a terrible mix. More on this later on. Keeping an eye on that story as well. Don't forget, this weekend has been characterized by lots of agitation on the labor front. Yesterday, one of the groups hit the street. We'll bring you some highlights of that. But Zenith Bank Ghana extends its deepest appreciation to all customers, patrons, and stakeholders for joining us in celebrating our 19th anniversary, which ended with the Zenith Health Walk on Saturday, September 21. This took place at Zenith Heights, our head office. It was truly a pleasure to have you join us to mark this special occasion. Thank you for 19 years of financial innovation and excellence. We reassure you of our commitment to continue to serve you in your best interest and look forward to many more years of greater success together. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. And if you're a customer of Enterprise, this is the time to win some great points. Enterprise customers can rack up points and score awesome rewards just by making purchases, renewing policies, and more through their self-service portal or the Enterprise Advantage app. Log into your account, access Advantage Point, and start earning points for rewards like airtime, Momo, and more. Visit my.enterprisegroup.net.gh or download the Enterprise Advantage app to get started. Enterprise Advantage points, because nothing you do should be pointless. And if you're ready to make your retirement dream a reality, say hello to a life filled with relaxation, tranquility, and endless possibilities at Lakeside Hills. Now, Lakeside Estate exclusive retirement homes tailored to meet your need. We have 2, 3, and 4 bedroom homes developed in a serene environment, including sports complex, pharmacy, shopping mall, children play area, clubhouse, and of course the biggest water park in Ghana. We are your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year, and we want your journey to be comfortable into retirement. So reach us at lakesideestate.com or call 0204 775 042. Lakeside Hills, live your best life.
Now, if you want a British degree at a fraction of the cost, then Lancaster University Ghana is your number one option. They are offering you a vibrant student experience and they are giving you useful employability skills. Be taught by the finest faculty trained to UK standards at their campus. Get in touch with them via phone 020-960-7008 or via email admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Now, during the season, whether it's raining or it's dry and it's sunny and all of that, our children sneeze, cough, and fall ill just like that. Therefore, we need to give them the protection they deserve by getting them Dettol soap. Bathing with Dettol soap protects you and your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs, offering you maximum protection. And it's available in all supermarkets across the country and in any convenient shop near you. Dettol, shield your family from germs. This ad is FDA approved. You've worked hard, you want to retire. Remember that the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan is here today to help you get a guaranteed monthly income for the rest of your life. Simply invest into the plan and start receiving monthly income to enjoy your perfect retirement. Call Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or visit oldmutual.com.gh or Brapa Ahontokwa. Old Mutual do great things every day. And Bell Pack Paper Tissue is the best companion for those who demand the best. It offers you the softness and strength you need for every occasion. Make the switch today and enjoy the ideal paper tissue with Bell Pack. Bell Pack tissues are another quality product from Belacqua.
So happy to hear from you. 054-998-6996. Number of people have reached out to me wanting to add their voice to the galamsey issue. Beyond the protest over the weekend, Arocha Ghana also did a placard sensitization activity, and where they basically wanted to get the whole of Accra to know the dangers of galamsey. So they had men and women on the streets of Accra asking for action on galamsey. And that's part of the various pressure that's been building. Yeah, so those are the issues coming to the fore this morning. And of course, there's always the temptation to lose focus, right? And I know that a lot of people are talking about a panelist on a radio station or is it TV station, I'm not sure, who went to speak against the overlord of Ashanti and all the ramifications of that. But I think that for me, one of the things we need to do is to keep the main thing. Okay. So while I will not discredit those topics, the main issue here is that there's a generation's access to livelihoods, water, and life is being wiped out by dereliction of duty. I was interviewing a scientist who said to me that it will take at least 10 years for some of the places that have been devastated by galamsey to regain anything closely related to normalcy. So we are in 2024, that means 2034. It is unfathomable. Let's listen to Dr. Ening's presentation, just a few minutes of it, reminding us of what the real issues are.
So, this will take just about 2 minutes. The network is quite slow. So good. So, Ghana has now been characterized as a galam state. And what do we mean when we say Ghana has become a galam state? A galam state is where we are seeing a country in a gradual descent like a narco state. It is a state that is captured and linked to higher forms of grand corruption. In a galam state, the practice is normalized and the people are silenced or limited to mere noises on the sidelines. In a galam state, it's identified by a state in which its institutions have been captured. That is the legislature, the executive, the judiciary, the regulatory agencies, public works ministries, by large private firms, political leaders, high-ranking officials, interest groups such as transnational organized criminal networks. More importantly, in a galam state, there is a perfect blend between criminally minded politicians and politically minded criminal gangs, creating a hybrid form of governance. In such a scenario, the traditional role of the state to arrest, investigate, prosecute, adjudicate cases, convict accused persons, and incarcerate or fine them, which are key ingredients to the resilience of the state, are not present. A weakened criminal justice system in turn promotes patronage and clientelism, with the latter contributing to creating hybrid forms of governance. Ghana has reached a state where the next stage in the consolidation of a galam state would be the formation of mafia-style criminal gangs, whose typology includes a militia, which we know they've started to exist, and that is why I spent time on the small arms. Mafia-style criminal gangs whose typology includes the militia and other groups exercising identifiable membership and territorial control. We know that already several galamseyers are well armed, have approached local chiefs who are complicit in the practice to buy portions of rivers for this activity. These groups or such groups are likely to be formed where the gold resources are used for personal gain. So the picture I've tried to paint this morning, I've not bothered to talk about La Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, or Togo. Why? Because when the state itself is weak, when its regulatory frameworks don't work, and when its leaders collude deliberately, then it's very easy for other people to come in. Where we've reached right now is that we can only understand the criminality and the threats through a regional complex lens. And what do I mean? That the crimes and the levels of collusion are so intertwined that to be able to understand what is happening, it is impossible for us to look at illicit mining alone. To stop galamsey, we need to look at multiple other activities, institutions that makes these crimes possible. And where there are embedded interests, individual and group interests, then bringing those of you who will be in power in January together to declare this an existential threat is not going to be easy. So let me pause here and invite my colleague, Mausi.
He was talking about Ghana, not Guinea-Bissau. This is Professor Kwesienin, who was speaking at the CSO post-engagement with political parties on mining. We'll take a break. Sky, I know when he was talking, you were just nodding quietly, because what he's saying fits the pattern of what you've been saying to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's scary on one hand, but it's also encouraging that people are joining forces to say no. And for me, if a government ever needed to rally people to stand up for what is right, for the past 2 years, we've given them over 50 groups.
Yep.
We've given them over 50 groups who have all written various things. Catholic bishops, charismatic pastors, Academy of Arts and Sciences, TUC, the Forum, Ghana Federation of Labour, Medical Association, Nurses Association, all health groups, TEU, you know, all NAGRAT, NAT, church leaders, civil society groups. I mean, there's been a massive show of, or an outcry, which I think any government should be able to say, this is capital. Okay, you if you want, look, leaders are not supposed to do what's popular. The little I know about leadership is that you have to take hard decisions. So sometimes good leaders take difficult decisions that are not popular, but we understand later. But here's a case that various strata of society have come out to say, this is the right thing, do it. You get it? So I don't see how, I've still not heard anything from the president. I feel like it's very, it's I don't know how to put it. It's, so either he knows something very, very big that all of us don't know, for which reason he's deciding to bide his time and speak at a different occasion. I can give him that. But I really hope that when he comes out to speak, he will take cognizance of everything that has been said and not just rubbish. You know, because I took the trouble to read what the Academy wrote in December, and they've done many more publications on this. I took the trouble to read what the researcher I interviewed, the priest, Sky. People have thought and done work on this. All right. So whatever body of knowledge he's working with and his advisors are working with, I really hope that when he decides to eventually speak on this, it will take everything into consideration, and he would lead. He would lead like he did in COVID, because this is a nation in crisis. The truth is that there are certain crises that you are in that you know you are in. So when you are in war, you know you are in crisis. When you are in hunger, you know you are in crisis. But when you are in something like this irresponsible mining menace, you are in it, but you don't know you are in it. And you would wake up 2 years later and ask yourself, what happened here? So let's not be deluded by the fact that because you are not hearing or seeing people die every day in the in their hundreds, that does not mean that a generation is not being wiped out. I'll give Nathan the chance to bring us what's trending, and then I'll go back to Dr. Enin, because I feel he's hit the nail right on the head. He's highlighted the right issues, and we need to go back to those. Now, Tech and Social Media Trends is next, brought to us by Telecel, and this is really a good chance for entrepreneurs. You can transform your business this month with Telecel as we celebrate Telecel SME month on the theme Connecting Businesses, connecting the woman in business. Now, you can engage, network, and learn from industry leaders in our insightful Telecel Women in Business webinar series, as well as the webinar or Women 100 Power Lunch. The exciting rewards in store for all businesses as part of our newly launched Red Loyalty for Business. And exclusive gifts available include 50% discounts on bills, shopping, and group lunch vouchers, 50% cash back to merchants, etc. Call 0302 334040. Segment is also sponsored by First Bank, who are saying the PAPS has made sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone very easy. All you need to do is to visit any First Bank branch with your cash, and your money is transferred in no time. To receive money, simply have a First Bank Ghana account. For more information on the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System or the PAPS, call 059 69 21 921. First Bank, you first.
Just quick one, the PAPS thing. So as an individual, I can send money to Liberia or Sierra Leone if I want to.
But they are partner banks. So First Bank is saying they are a bank you can use to do that.
Okay.
So now you don't need to go for dollars. So if you have somebody in Togo who's supplying you, say, something, you can go to the bank and pay him, maybe it's 50,000 cedis or 10,000 cedis. He will get the safer equivalent. So we don't need the US dollar or the British pound to do our work here. And I think it's fantastic.
That's fantastic.
It's one of the best creations in the financial sector in the past 2 years.
That's great.
Really solid job. Nathan.
Yep.
Or as my friends would say, Nathan. Charlie. Nathan.
Alrighty.
Nathan.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's get into it. So 4 trends, 4 hashtags, all tied to the same thing: free the citizens, free our governor, stop galamsey now, reoccupy Julobi House. All of that trending based on the same thing. So there was a 3-day protest, and as a consequence, or what followed, was that some of the protests were arrested, they were sent to the court, they were charged, and so people are talking about that. They were not granted bail, and they were not. they were not granted bail, and that's quite surprising. Richard, you are the lawyer here. Maybe you can give us education as to whatever they did. Are those offenses not bailable?
Well, the general principle of law is that all offenses in Ghana, as we speak, are bailable. But the discretion to exercise whether or not a person be granted bail or not, it's within the domain of the judge. So the judge will determine whether you are entitled to one, because the Constitution says that under Article 14 you cannot you combine that with Article 19, you have to show that a person committed an offense before you put him in jail, right? You are innocent until proven guilty under 14, and then you come to 19, we're told that yes, you should be given bail as and when the court so determines. So in the circumstances, we would have to interrogate what facts were brought before the judge, what arguments were made by counsel for the accused persons, what did the state prosecutor say, and what ultimately led the judge to say that they were not going to.
Anyway, the hashtag free the citizens is here. It's number 1 on the trend. So free the citizens, give them bail. They will not go anywhere. Give them bail. To other ones that are trending, JJJ is also trending. Stoneboy, new song. It seems to be very, very, very popular there as well. Now, following all the things that have been happening, Otunfo Mensha also in the trends for the comments made and all of that. Ekufuado Adodi is also trending. Nanado is trending as well. Christian Council is also trending. People are saying that why is it that entities like the Christian Council are not speaking? Because things are happening. We are struggling with galamsey and all of that. And then down on the trends, Daily Guide, and I'm happy they've mentioned this. People are calling out the Daily Guide for the irresponsible headlines they put on their front pages yesterday and today. People go to protest. They are citizens that have the right to express how they feel, and you bunch them all up and describe them as NDC protesters. Daily Guide, poor work yesterday and today. I hope you repent and do better going forward. To some tech news very quickly, and TikTok is here. TikTok says it wants to purge, TikTok has removed accounts associated with 2 Russian media groups trying to exercise what it's called covert influence on the upcoming US election. The accounts are linked to Russia Segodnia and TV Novosti, two organizations behind the Sputnik News Agency and the RT broadcaster respectively. Now, the move mirrors an announcement by Meta that they had banned Rosia, Segodnia, RT and other related entities from its apps globally for foreign interference activity. So we wait to see how all of this will play. Let's not forget that I think 2 elections ago, the one that brought Donald Trump to power, you know, there were some papers that were released that said there was some influence. I think the last election also mentioned all of that. So it looks like the social media platforms are trying to ensure that nothing interferes with the American election.
It's interesting how the US is busy talking about other countries interfering in their external affairs.
Meanwhile, anyway, so that's that. That's that for the segment this morning. But let's not forget, hashtag stop galamsey now. Hashtag say no to galamsey.
You're looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. We do we seek out to bank be no lie. Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't me here the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilling, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
There's a business in every woman, from the young lady brimming with exciting and novel business ideas to the market queen managing her empire. There's the she architect, quantity surveyor, realtor, business consultant, crafting dreams into reality, and the multitasking mom seamlessly blending work at home. The entrepreneur, meticulously checking
Today is the last day for companies to get involved in the Citi Business Olympics because today is 25th and it's on the Saturday.
Yep.
And I know you're looking forward to it.
Charlie, I'm looking forward to it, giddy, because that is where we will show Alokpa. You know,
you show what?
Alokpa. You know, you and I before do arm wrestling. You know, arm wrestling.
No. You have to race.
You see why you have competitive advantage. That's not fair. With these your long legs. You know.
But no, it doesn't mean anything. You could have better running technique. You could even have pace.
Have you seen Usain Bolt?
You see, Usain Bolt is a mix of different things.
Yeah, so you know it's going to be a big deal. If your company hasn't finalized the process yet, please, we beg you. You need to come and finish this thing for your workers because it's an opportunity to network, meet other people, exchange ideas while having fun and engaging in a very, very, very useful competition that can return glory to your company and people who are involved in your affairs. So give us a call.
Let me ask you a question.
Talk to me.
So if Citi were taking part as a company,
yes,
what the way you are sitting here, what could you have done for us?
Volleyball, man.
Oh, please.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Oh, you.
Look,
you used to play volleyball?
Volleyball. I was a setter. Set the ball, Udamla.
So as in you raise the ball?
Yes, that's what I do.
Then
so when you direct the ball at me, then I will set it for you.
And then
because you have height, then you will spike. Boom.
So you could play volleyball.
That's right.
Is that the only sport you can do?
You know, I used to do something close to football, but some guy beat me. I'm blessed now, man. And then I broke my wrist.
Something close to football.
Yeah, something close to football.
That's so funny. because I'm thinking about if Citi has a responsibility to put up a team.
Yeah.
Whether you guys can help us.
Oh no, I volleyball. Yeah,
you would have done volleyball.
Yeah, that's right. But I've not done it since I came from Adafianu to Accra. I've never played volleyball.
So you do sport?
Yeah, I do sports. I exercise. I do. I go to the gym and all of
that. So you are a volleyball player?
Yeah, volleyball, like proper volleyball.
Can you play table tennis?
So there's this friend of mine, we were in class together, who was teaching me Israel.
But they don't teach table tennis.
You know, he was teaching us those days at later, but the interest died because I couldn't get the bat. You know, there's this bat.
I also table tennis.
You needed the bat and the ball.
So can you play basketball?
Basketball, yeah. You know, those days it was just coming up.
Speak the truth.
Yeah, bounce the ball and all. No, but I'm not. I wouldn't say that I am.
Can you play? What other sport is there in this world? Can you swim?
Oh, for swimming, that one is natural.
You're born.
Yeah.
Can you do sack race?
Yes, I can do sack race. In those days in the CYB, I was doing it.
Oh, CYB?
Yes, CYB.
Easter Games?
Yes, that's the CYB. And then lime and spoon. I could do that, yeah.
Can you, so say football, were you a good, what position were you playing in football?
So I was doing 7.
Huh?
Number 7.
Which part of the back is?
You know, on
right
the line.
wing.
Yes, the right wing.
On the line.
7 is right wing.
You are lying.
Oh, okay. See, there are many of my peers listening.
They
will call and say that, you know.
They can testify.
Yeah, I was, you know, I wasn't a star like that.
What about indoor games?
Like which of them, Ludo or which?
Oh, Ludo is non-competitive.
Oh well, because we have not decided.
Scrabble.
Scrabble. No, I'm not.
Chess.
Chess. No.
You don't be that big crowd.
It's a question of opportunity.
You can't play. But you can play.
This is what you call Ajepako.
But you can play Owari.
Oh yeah, Owari. They are going to play. Those days you do it in the sand. You can create the holes in the sand, and then you put the kennel.
Your childhood was amazing.
Yes, that's what you use.
Well, Sky will be there, so you can come and talk to him more about his football encounters, his volleyball encounters. Get your company to get involved. It's happening this Saturday at the Eden Heights Sports Complex here in Accra. It's close to Wager. And as I say, that place is a beautiful place to visit.
Yeah.
A world-class sporting facility with swimming, indoor games, outdoor games, and a beautiful gym as well.
Ashform is here.
But I'm going to ask you, what sports do you do?
Football, basketball.
I'm not going to what sports do you talk about?
No. I can play some football. I can play basketball.
What position do you play?
What position do I play?
What position do you play?
When I played.
Yes. Why are you behaving like that, Nigerian man? You asked me direct question.
I was leading the line. I was the one scoring.
You were a striker.
Brilliant.
When I was a child, I was.
So you were a centre forward. So you're a centre forward.
Brilliant one at that, especially when I had a partner.
That's right.
So you could. So you play 4-4-2.
Yeah, especially when I had a strike partner. It made running off him.
Are you
easy.
talking small post or proper football?
Proper. You can ask my mates back.
What was the highest? Did you play for any house in Accra or you didn't get to that level? So this is more area ball.
Yeah, we play some kick about back in school, that kind of stuff.
Because you feel like you have that habit tendencies.
You get
that habit. Do you play volleyball?
Yeah, I can play.
Basketball?
Yes. I shot the ad with Chris Carter.
So the basketball there, you are more.
Yeah, that's the basketball.
You are more you.
No, not necessarily. I play more football than basketball.
Really?
Yes, but I like to play basketball.
Are you sure? Do you play table tennis?
Yes, but have we not played table tennis together when we went to?
Oh, then you are okay. Do you play Scrabble?
I'm not good at that.
Oh, Pete, did you play chess?
The pieces are so many, the movements. But I do have a chess board in the house.
I can teach you.
No problem. That's fine.
Then you are better than Sky. Sky, they used to play something close to football.
Because growing up, the football was the only sport I played. I took up some basketball in my teens.
The problem was that, they didn't really allow us to go and play football. Anytime you went out to play football, they would beat you out.
You know the funny thing.
So what we do
I remember in JSS
when we go and then we steal some time to go and play. When you're coming back, you have to find water
to wash your legs.
Yeah, to wash your legs.
Meanwhile, these days parents are sending their kids to academies because now they've seen that there's money to be made. In those days, they're like, "Hey, go to school, go and study." They say, "Now go and play football."
Exactly.
And make money
in
for
those
the
days
family.
too, you had what we were calling VIX football. Or maybe you use the what do you call agbo,
So you didn't have proper football?
No proper, or maybe socks. You put
stuff them.
Then you use plastic bags.
You suffer too much for this word design. Anyway, so Sky and Nathan.
Yeah. So the companies, please sign up. Sign up. Business Olympics is this Saturday at Eden Heights behind the West Hills Mall in Wager. Sign up.
Let's get it.
Just take the boxes. You want
let
to
the games begin,
and then Saturday show up. Let's see how competitive you are.
All the people who've been criticizing Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo,
come and make new friends.
All the people you criticize, come and let's see what you can offer.
We'll be there supervising. Anyway, Ashform is here. They are a one-stop shop for all your home soft furnishing. So if you want bed linens, pillows, all of that, speak to Ashform. You want mattresses, beds, toppers, cot protectors, duvets, the whole shebang. Call Ashform 0243 200 729. Be an Ashformer now. Ashform, feel it, know it. Pepsodent is out with the Cavity Fighter, giving your teeth 10 times more protection, and it's fortified with microcalcium ingredients and profluoride, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. You can get Pepsodent at any shop, or you can call their customer care center on 0800 20 0030. Pepsodent, every smile matters. Now, for those who will be coming to Eden Heights to take part in the CBO this weekend, you will run, jump through, and do all of that. You run out of energy, but Lucozade says restore your energy and enjoy Lucozade in their sleek 330 ml can. It's the same old energy contained in that can, but it's now captured in a brilliant looking container. Grab your Lucozade sleek can and discover the same unbeatable energy with every sip. Lucozade, restore your energy, and this ad is FDA approved.
At Ashesi, every graduate can get a chance to shine, whether it's starting your own business, embarking on advanced studies within 6 months of graduation. Every graduate, nearly every graduate at Ashesi has that reality. From Accra to Nairobi, from London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and are leading successful careers. So log on to ashesi.edu.gh to learn more about the Ashesi Advantage. Remember, admissions are ongoing. And Universal Motors is calling you to cruise through town with our new brands. So the Virtus, the T-Cross, the Amarok, the T1, and the Terramont, all proudly assembled in Ghana and sold with 0% VAT. So VW vehicles are now available via Universal Motors. Reach us on 0544 338 804. Enjoy the perfect Volkswagen just for you. Meanwhile, the Labour Department's free business coaching program is offering personalized business coaching from experts on how to manage business finances, market products or services, and expand customer base. The Labour Department offers a wide range of employment services like job placement, career guidance, labor inspections, and more, designed to empower youth, women, and persons with disability. Call the Labour Department on 0800 600 400 or 0800 600 300. All right, so again to galamsey, again to Dr. Enin. If you haven't heard, this is my focus for the morning. I've interviewed Dr. Enin on galamsey before, and he sees it as a major threat. But the profound way he describes this, for me, is what I think should goad everybody who's concerned into action. Let's hear him again, speaking at Ebri on the threat galamsey poses to our lives and our future.
So, this will take just about 2 minutes. The network is quite slow. So good. So, Ghana has now been characterized as a galam state. And what do we mean when we say Ghana has become a galam state? A galam state is where we are seeing a country in a gradual descent like a narco state. It is a state that is captured and linked to higher forms of grand corruption. In a galam state, the practice is normalized and the people are silenced or limited to mere noises on the sidelines. In a galam state, it's identified by a state in which its institutions have been captured. That is the legislature, the executive, the judiciary, the regulatory agencies, public works ministries, by large private firms, political leaders, high-ranking officials, interest groups such as transnational organized criminal networks. More importantly, in a galam state, there is a perfect blend between criminally minded politicians and politically minded criminal gangs, creating a hybrid form of governance. In such a scenario, the traditional role of the state to arrest, investigate, prosecute, adjudicate cases, convict accused persons, and incarcerate or fine them, which are key ingredients to the resilience of the state, are not present. A weakened criminal justice system in turn promotes patronage and clientelism, with the latter contributing to creating hybrid forms of governance. Ghana has reached a state where the next stage in the consolidation of a galam state would be the formation of mafia-style criminal gangs, whose typology includes a militia, which we know they've started to exist, and that is why I spent time on the small arms. Mafia-style criminal gangs whose typology includes the militia and other groups exercising identifiable membership and territorial control. We know that already several galamseyers are well armed, have approached local chiefs who are complicit in the practice to buy portions of rivers for this activity. These groups or such groups are likely to be formed where the gold resources are used for personal gain. So the picture I've tried to paint this morning, I've not bothered to talk about La Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, or Togo. Why? Because when the state itself is weak, when its regulatory frameworks don't work, and when its leaders collude deliberately, then it's very easy for other people to come in. Where we've reached right now is that we can only understand the criminality and the threats through a regional complex lens. And what do I mean? That the crimes and the levels of collusion are so intertwined that to be able to understand what is happening, it is impossible for us to look at illicit mining alone. To stop galamsey, we need to look at multiple other activities, institutions that makes these crimes possible. And where there are embedded interests, individual and group interests, then bringing those of you who will be in power in January together to declare this an existential threat is not going to be easy. So let me pause here and invite my colleague, Mausi.
All right, now the reason this audio clip is important is the line, the way he links it to a bigger problem. Mm-hmm. So we are discussing a irresponsible mining issue, which has become an environmental issue, a social issue, an economic issue, obviously. But he's basically saying it's also become a criminal issue, and the kinds of criminality that will emerge out of this we cannot contain. I just want to find out, where was he speaking? Neil Atelate, you covered this event. What event was this?
So Bernard, this was a post-manifesto engagement with some of the major political parties in the country. In fact, it was a sequel to an earlier engagement they had, earlier this year at, Royal Senchi. Okay. They were trying to gather input from various political parties, what they have in terms of small-scale mining, illegal, going into the 2024 election. So they had that engagement earlier this year. So this time around, they were looking at what the parties actually
wanted to do in the illegal mining space.
Yes,
okay.
As far as
so the parties were there.
Yeah, 3 political parties were there: the NPP, the NDC, as well as the Movement for Change.
Wonderful.
So they made presentations
on what they want to do.
Exactly.
So these are their manifesto guys.
Exactly.
And then, so what was Dr. Ening's role there?
So he was more or less like one of the representatives from the UK Ghana Gold Program. Last year the United Kingdom government, as well as the government of Ghana, launched this particular program to ensure that they roll out a raft of measures to ensure that there is some sanity in the illegal mining sector. And so the UK government brought in Dr. Kwesi Ening to speak about the criminal element, because he felt as if, although we have the economic aspect of the fight, the environmental aspect, he was more or less like, this is also a national security threat. And the UK government, as far as this program is concerned, is also particularly involved in, SOC, which is serious organized crime. And so that was the role Dr. Kwesi Ening came to play. So he made the opening remarks. And so it was about some 30 minutes of presentation, trying as much as possible to run, the various political parties by the laws of the country, how they are not being implemented, the role of the security agencies, and the aftermath if this fight is not nipped in the bud.
Wonderful. What was the reaction to what he said?
Well, the political parties were very clear in their minds that, well, this is an existential threat.
So they agree?
They agree that they have to really come on board to, fight this particular menace. And so the UK government was also happy that the input of the various political parties reflected in their manifesto. So a minimum of 3 of the conversations they had found their way into the various political manifestos. So they were more of, there's this commitment to fight, illegal mining.
So they got that into the manifestos.
Yes, this time around. On devoid of partisan politics.
So was the full presentation on galamsey, or he was speaking? Did he talk about other things, Dr. Ening?
Oh, well, it was all about galamsey.
Okay, so let's hear more. Let me hear more of that. I just want to hear more, to put matters in context. For me, Sky, the points around armed gangs worries me, because when natural resources are exploited by large companies and local communities don't get to benefit. So you see Nigeria, you have MEND, all right, where people who are from the Delta area decide that central government is exploiting our oil and we are not getting anything from it, and therefore we will go for what's left over and we'll arm ourselves and we'll explode, we'll blast pipelines and then hold people hostage. And from the way he discussed, so I want us to hear portions around the issues of small arms, the arming of the groups. And you see, so this galamsey thing is not like just an emotional thing we are saying, stop. We're talking about the social crisis forming around it, and the criminality and illicit money entering our politics, infiltrating us. It's a very serious issue.
So transnational organized crime.
Let's listen to Dr. Enin further.
I'm going to talk about an issue that is tough. I will say things that are not very nice, but I'm not in a nice business. So it's nice to see the Tingle right. It's a town I've passed through several times. And I think the Honorable DC have met her a couple of times. So the time to act is now. So this is what I intend to do. Introduce a couple of the issues and then talk about nexus, the word nexus, between illegal mining and our conceptions of national security. And then go through some of the challenges and the threats. But focus a little bit on small arms and light weapons. Probably if there's time, I might speak to some other things. And then how organized crime has become a national security threat. And then talk. But Mausi will join in as and when he wants. First and foremost, illegal mining first violates the laws of this country and is now posing an existential threat. I think we've been bamboozling ourselves that we are so nice, so hospitable, so sweet. But we are the only country in history that has not gone to war, or is not at war, but out of our greed have destroyed our water bodies. You only destroy your water bodies during war to prevent your enemy chasing you from getting access to clean water. So we are a very unique set of people. And I think today I want us to strip away this false facade of sweetness and see who we truly are. It's also difficult to police because of the opportunities that it creates. And I think both Sam and Chris have quoted some really fantastic figures. But it's not just about the gold. It's about narcotics. It's about cattle. It's about all these groups that use the gold to reap illicit profits to bolster their strength. 3 days ago, Mali has stopped the export or the illegal export of cattle to Burkina Faso and Ghana. And I think the Tingelra might know this, that the cattle that comes through Bandankata, and a lot of them are related to this business. And we need to ask ourselves, how can cattle move from Fadinguma, supposedly behind terrorist lines, and come to Ghana to be sold and why? But the OECD, I mean, when we talk here in Ghana, we can be dismissed that you people are making too much noise. But the OECD, that is the group of developed countries, has also flagged Ghana as a high-risk country for complex minerals. Let's not forget that our diamond, and I think Tony is here, our diamond trade in the 80s and 90s collapsed because a UN fact-finding team said our diamonds were funding the wars in Sierra Leone and Nigeria. It's only a matter of time before nobody will buy the gold from them. It will need to be exported in other countries. But it's not only that, issues of child labor and environment. This business has become a conduit for laundering criminal profits. And I think we've spoken about terrorism and stuff. I'll come to that. It compromises our security, and it also compromises the lawful supply chain, exploiting our financials. Like almost every crime, this business is thriving because the state is weak, it is corrupted, it's been criminalized, and has become a galamsey. In conclusion, I'll tell you what a galamsey is. Organized crime exploits these through corruption and a weak rule of law. The Ghana Police Service over the past 10 years has seen an uptick in crime, all types of crimes, where these activities take place. But it's a profitable business because the risk of being arrested is almost non-existent. But it raises fundamental questions also. When I use the word nexus, it's about the interfaces, the multiple interfaces and interconnections between our national and regional security, and I'm quite happy about Sam's point about this bridge. Prior to that bridge, and I'll show you some pictures very soon, several criminal networks were located in Ghana from the Ivorian side and the Burkinabe side, not only engaging in both, but also in human trafficking. Now, it raises fundamental questions as to where our intelligence people are and where the security people are, except they are involved in the business. And I've never been shy of saying this. But it's also crucial for us to understand and to examine how these criminal networks first engage in mutually beneficial activities that is threatening national security. But we also need to appreciate the socio-economic and political environments and networks in which organized criminal groups
the organized crime dimension, the transnational nature, the small arms angle to this challenge.
All those security issues.
Yeah. Pascal, despite all the complications of what's happening, I still think the government can stop it.
Oh yeah, of course.
They have what it takes to do it. The force of state has been used to do far less important things.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I wonder how they measure or they assess risk. All right. While I'm not condoning lawlessness, I think if you look at the amount of police, soldiers, and police they brought out to quell that small group of demonstrators, and you see the level of destruction in our forests, and you ask yourself, if we have all of these guys here with all these accoutrement, why are we sitting helplessly whilst our land is being destroyed by licenses we ourselves give? You see the irony?
Yeah.
So in a sense, we have to show that we will not allow somebody to come and do whatever. So the person wants to march to Jubilee House, and you say no problem. You discuss with them, they do a demo. I feel like the bigger threat is the non-action of the authorities, because you are sending a signal to the criminals that you are weak, and that's not right. You get it? Because sometimes the police act to show that they are not weak, and I think they should show that strength in clamping down on the illegality going on. Because everybody agrees, even those who have said there shouldn't be a blanket ban, they agree that there are certain kinds of mining going on which are criminal in the way they destroy forests and destroy water bodies. Everybody agrees. So even before we get to the moratorium, the security agencies should not fail us, because there was no, at least presumably there was no order from somewhere. Of course, I can't say that, but the truth is the police know what to do when it comes to public order. All right. So if people have gone out to show you videos, like yesterday, Adam Srem, he took a photo from Wasa Ikropong Sky. A country with a government should not sit down to allow this to happen under any circumstance. All right. And whether the people who did that had a license or not, what they did is not irresponsible mining. It's not responsible. Yeah. So why do the security forces or agencies need an extra impetus from the minister? Do you get it? Do you understand? I don't know. There are people Ghana Water Company is telling you that they don't have water. Somebody is deliberately poisoning the water that we drink. Is that not criminal?
It is.
So if we have all these cars and things, why aren't we deploying them go? There, yeah. Do you get my point? Because what you're trying to say is that we are, and again, I'm very careful here. Okay, there's relativity in all of this, but the point we are making is that sometimes our security officials overcompensate for certain kinds of law and order. So they want to show that we'll not allow you to protest on this road. Maybe you should have just allowed them to walk and do what they want to do and go home. Now we have a whole story around bail and non-bail, threatening to even take away attention from what we are fighting. But the point is, if you have this many men to deploy to stop, I don't know how many demonstrators there were, 8 of your river basins are severely polluted. What would it take to say we are going to have people man our water courses, set up camps and tents as police, so that even if somebody is doing illegal mining, we will monitor it to check if they are doing it close to a water body? Do you answer my point? Where is the anger and the deployment against that? I think that's not right, because you can walk and chew gum. You can maintain public order in Accra and say people should demonstrate within the certain confines of the law. But to sit down and allow what is happening in our country to happen, I think it's a greater evil, because it says you strain at a gnat and you swallow a camel. That's what Scripture says. It says, you the Pharisees, you have tithe, you basically paid tithe on the anise, the mint, and the cumin, and you have neglected the weightier matters of the law. And I think you can apply that here to say, and Christ said, this you should have done without leaving the others undone, because justice, mercy, and faith are weightier than tithing. Do you see where I'm going with this? So you cannot sit down and allow people to do the kind of distracted thing they are doing, and then you say, well, by the way, we need to let people know that there's law and order in Ghana, so when they demonstrate, they can't do this or that. And you see, I'm careful here, because I'm not saying people should misconduct themselves. But Sky, what's the best way to show that Ghana is a land of laws? Is it not to ensure that craziness happening in our water body stops?
Thank you.
Is it not? Because, and you see, this has read the NCC statement. NCC issued a statement last week, and they said state agencies must do their work. NCC, this is the National Commission on Civic Education. They issued a statement, and they said security agencies must do their work. That's what NCC said. I'm not the one saying, NCC said it. Okay. Then there were statements issued also by civil society groups calling on security agencies to do their work. So you see, it's gotten to we pick and choose which one is easy to do. You get it? If NCC is calling on state agencies to do their work of protecting our water bodies, what more can I say in relation to dereliction? So let me talk to Daryl, and I'll come to you. Daryl Bosu is the deputy director of Arocha Ghana. They embarked, of course, they've done a lot of things, but they embarked on I can call it an awareness creation campaign in town. He will describe what they did, and then we'll speak about that. Daryl, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard, and thank you for having me here. Yeah.
So I saw some people with placards in town yesterday, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear that it was your team that was behind that. Just walk me through, what were you trying to do, and which places were you looking at doing this?
Yes, thank you, Bernard. As you know, as an environmental conservation organization and also an organization that is very much committed to addressing the galamsey issues, we do a lot of work in the landscape, in the regions, in the western, eastern, Ashanti region, and all of that. But we realize that there is also a need. The discussion is going on, but a lot of the policymakers are here in Accra, and some of them is either they're listening to you on radio, or they're really not even either they're on their social media, or they're not even paying attention. So, as part of sustaining the momentum that the groundswell of various organizations has yielded in terms of action to get government to take action on galamsey, we chose to use World Rivers Day, which was themed Waterways for Life, to commemorate this day and also to use opportunity to get people in the city to appreciate the issues and also to get the messages to them as to what exactly the various coalitions are demanding. So we set ourselves, distributed ourselves in various vantage locations in Accra, basically focusing on areas with very high traffic in the morning and at intersections. So we were at the Rage, we were also at the Sky Towers Airport intersection area, we also at Fiesta, Jawulu Junction, and then we also had teams at Nkrumah. So these were a lot of young volunteers who joined the campaign and were willing to really get the message out. So I think the whole day, right from early in the morning, we tried to reach out to commuters, and we really got some feedback, and I think that was a good opportunity for us to get the message out as well.
And I need to commend you because, last week there was a lot of momentum on galamsey, and then there was a long weekend, and then there was a protest which sort of, the story has even changed from whatever they were protesting around to the fact that they've not been given remand. So it's almost sort of taking attention away from the main thing, which is to get the government to declare state of emergency and to act. So in a sense, what you've done is reviving the attention, because it seems to me as if the government is waiting out, trying to wear, because last week was almost the crescendo where everybody was saying stop galamsey now, and it seems as if this week there's been this lady's gone to Ashanti Kingdom to apologize. All kinds of things are coming up, and people are going back to the normalcy of galamsey is a bad issue. So it's like there's a certain inadvertent loss of momentum if we're not deliberate around this fight.
I agree with you, and I'm really sad to see that instead of the state listening to the demands of civil society, the various organized groups, and dealing with it, the strategy is to obstruct and to frustrate our civic space, but really taking away all the opportunity we have to even voice out these concerns. And that is where I'm afraid that. And the reason why I say that is that even yesterday when we were out there, the strategy we use, that the churches use it when they need to do evangelism, they use the strategy. When the MPP people want to convey messages to people, they stand at vantage point with their promises on placards, showing everybody, and they use it. NDC use it. Many people use it. I was surprised when the media people came and they were talking to us. The question they were asking is, do you have permission from the police? I was really surprised, because I think that this is an opportunity for citizens just to be out there, displaying messages, creating awareness and all of that, to be asking about whether we have the space to do that was for me worry. And that is something that I'm really getting worried about. And I feel that the government has taken it too far. Instead of paying attention, they went after the protesters, the way they handled them, the way they brought the full force of the police. For me, is a concern. And I agree, it's also probably a way to divert attention from the police, from the issues. And I really wish that we shouldn't wait for the end of the month before we would keep on the pressure. I wish that every civil society would do their own thing in their own small way and keep the issues on the agenda, because to sway the public from the issue could also be a strategy that the government is deploying.
So remind us of what the most important imperative is. What are we asking for? What are summarize the top 3 or 4 demands that all these various groups are making. Summarize them for my listeners.
Yeah, so I think what we know, right now, Ghana is confronted significantly by the menace of galamsey. I think what everybody needs to understand is that nobody is saying that mining is bad. Mining as an economic enterprise, one that brings revenue to our country, is inevitable. We need to really take advantage of the bountiful resources that we have. But that must be done in context. It must be done within limits and within boundaries. And that is why we are saying that if we must do mining, then let's do it properly and responsibly within the full remit of the law. And that is why the demand coming from civil society, organized labor, and the various people is saying that looking at the menace and the point at which we are now in a crisis, the state needs to really take much more decisive action than they've done all these 8 years. So we are saying that the government should declare a state of emergency in all the areas that are highly affected by galamsey, so we can take our time, streamline the process, and then also restore the rivers and the lands that are destroyed. Secondly, as part of the emergency, we're also saying that all mining, all forms of mining, be it legal or illegal, should not be allowed to happen on our rivers or within 100-meter buffer areas of these rivers. And again, we want all forms of mining out of our forest reserves. And that brings us to the point where we are saying that, look, we need to repeal LI 2462 and a legislation that was passed somewhere in 2022, practically allowing the state to have unfettered access to every forest reserve in this country for as long as they see the need to mine minerals over there. And these are really just the demands that civil society and organized labor are making. And I think that it's just simple. To say that it cannot be done is for me an excuse. And that is why we are fully in support of all civil groups, professional groups, and also organized labor to ensure that we can stay resolute and ensure that these demands are met. And this is basically what we are asking for.
Finally, I heard Dr. Kwesi, Professor Kwesi speaking a couple of days ago. Yesterday, we heard The Voice, where he spoke at a meeting between CSOs and political parties on their engagement on mining. And he basically says Ghana has become a galam state due to the failure of the state to clamp down on illegal mining. And he basically says that we have criminally minded politicians and politically minded criminals working together. And he's describing galamsey as now almost a transnational organized crime. And the inflow of weapons into the hands of miners, he says, makes the matter more complicated. You are, of course, an environmental CSO. Do you see the dimension is bringing to this? And because for him, if this is not solved beyond environmental destruction, it can lead to even civil unrest and militarization of groups. And then we are going to have a massive security problem in the country. Does that also concern you in terms of the advocacy?
Bernard, I think the issues raised by Professor Eni really resonate with everything that we are seeing on the ground and the reality of community. If you move into the various communities, the areas much more removed from the urban centers, farmers are forcefully being compelled to leave their farm. You go to your farm in the morning, there are illegal people working on your farm, and they dare you to approach and tell them to stop. There was recently an incident where we were told that a security team, national security team also, 30 of them went to try and quell a mining incident. They went there, and the people they met, they were surprised by it. And it's everywhere. These guys are armed, and I really agree in every sense of what he said, the fact that if we are not very careful, this is going to escalate just beyond an environmental crisis to one of an armed conflict. Because, and I even understand that some of these mining syndicates, they are fighting for theft. They are fighting over areas to mine. And they have so many ways they get to do that. And so for me, yes, we are concerned about the water, we are concerned about the environment and the forest and the people's ability to have access to these resources. But the social and the conflict-related aspect of it is not lost on us, and it seems to be an issue that is gradually, I actually think it's escalating because of the sort of impunity now we are seeing everywhere. It's really serious, and I think that is the level. Maybe we could use that also as a way to also escalate this matter just beyond an environmental crisis.
Thank you, Daryl Bosu. Keep up your work. He's the Deputy Director of Arocha Ghana, an environmental civil society organization. We're still here trying to discuss the dimensions. So, Nilati, what else did Dr. Enin speak about at this event?
So, Bernard, there are a lot more things. So, for example, let me give you some numbers. So, he said that as we speak, we have about 2.3 million small arms in circulation. And out of this, 2.3, and out of this number, 1.1 million are illegal, and most of these illegal arms are being used for galamsey. And his prediction or projection is that if care is not taken, we are going to double these numbers. And so the proliferation of these arms is also a major concern.
1.1 million of the 2.3 are illegal.
And he questions how they even got into the country in the first place. So we asked him this particular question. Does he think the police service or the other security agencies need some form of retooling? He said no. Resources, he said no. More numbers, no, because he thinks that the security agencies are more than enough.
They have what it takes.
Yes, they have what it takes. And so he even jokingly said that they receive fast salaries, they have all the things that they have to work with. So what more do they need? It's really an issue of the non-enforcement of some of these laws. So
political will to cause them to do what they have to do.
It's what is taking us this particular trajectory. And so he cited a number of policies that we have in place. He says that Ghana has a lot of strategies, documents, and what have you, to ensure that some of these things are curtailed. But the non-enforcement, the lack of political will is what is taking us back. And so he threw a challenge to some of the political parties that if you come into power today, are you able to hold some of these security agents complicit in the illegal mining activities before the law and ensure that
so
they account for...
If there's a police or soldier whose unit has been illegally supporting galamseyers, will you have the muscle to say you will go to court? That's what he said.
That's the challenge he threw to these political parties.
Let's hear more of what he said. This is Citi Breakfast Show, bringing you the security and the criminal dimension of this mining issue.
An influence. And it tells us that that strategy document basically will optimize the effectiveness of the security and intelligence sector. And I'll say it point blank. That effectiveness that does not exist. By evolving the current systems and structures, probably somebody can tell me, I don't know, prioritize the use of our resources, promote effective decision making through an institutional system to ensure here integrated and efficient cooperation or coordination in all spectrums of national security, providing a new institutional structure which will be equipped to tackle the strategic security and crisis management issues, requiring rapid, coordinated, comprehensive response. This is just crap. It doesn't exist. Okay? We want to lie to ourselves and tickle ourselves so we can laugh. But I want to focus also on two documents that are very key. One is the Security and Intelligence Services Act of 2020, Act 1030, and the National Signals Bureau Act 2020, Act 1040. What does the Security and Intelligence Services Act tell us? It relates to the National Security Council, providing for the establishment of regional and district security councils, of which Madam here is the chair in her district, specify and coordinate the activities of the agencies responsible for the security of the state. So where are all these tons of gold going to? And where are the security and intelligence people? Okay. So we are raising fundamental questions about the efficacy and effectiveness of the state. Some talks about trying to scoop the gold together so that the dollar will stabilize. But people don't trust the state. Those who represent the state and ought to provide protection have themselves been criminalized. To protect and preserve the unity and stability of the state and provide for related matters. So there's a problem here. The signals document must serve to provide opportunities and avenues for quick sharing of information. So it's supposed to provide an integrated signal system for the national security and intelligence agencies for the purposes of the security of the state and protecting and preserving the unity and stability of Ghana. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, two things. Either we like to tickle ourselves, or those who write these documents get a fantastic sitting allowance. So they write these things, and nobody has any intention of using it for anything. Otherwise, were any of you to win power, and you are inaugurated on the 7th of January 2025, you've got to hold people before you and say, to what extent have you used these laws to protect the sanctity of the Republic of Ghana? I'll tell you the truth. This is just not worth the paper on which they are written. So this is what the National Security Council and its structures look like. Probably it's not. So we have the council up there, chaired by the president. It cascades down to the National Security Ministry with the Secretariat, Intelligence Bureau, and almost who is who in the security structure of this country. So Madam DC runs her own district security council with almost everyone in the security services supposed to advise her. Mausi is here. 95% of those who ought to advise her have never seen any of these documents before. They've not read the Intelligence and Security Services Act. They've not read the Signals Act, and they haven't read or seen the National Security Strategy document before. So she goes to a council meeting, and those who should be giving her advice themselves don't know the legal framework upon which they should work. And I think Mausi will speak to this a little later. So our national security strategy seeks to use, that is what the document says, a whole of government and a whole of society approach, and the cooperation from all well-meaning Ghanaians. These are fantastic words. It's like when we go to mosque on Friday and church on Sunday. Okay? For the Christians, we like the songs of praise, dance, and then just come back. So this is about effective decision-making of institutional systems, integrated and efficient coordination, and a new institutional structure. And once more, the DC is here. None of this works. It simply does not work. So to what extent, really, are they manifesting in operational terms in responding to the threats posed by illegal mining? Because if all these things are understood and applied, then we shouldn't be sitting here. We should just be saying, look, whoever wins, off you go. 8 tons or whatever tons of gold, Citi becomes stabilized. We are all very happy. But I can assure you, we have a lot of work to do. So let me just race through the environmental side. Because more often than not, when we talk security, environment is sort of overlooked somehow. Illegal mining has environmental and also criminal aspects to it. And what we mean by environmental insecurity and crimes, these are illegal activities harming the environment and aimed at benefiting certain individuals, groups, or companies through the exploitation and theft of or trade in natural resources. But we are also seeing, and Tony is here, thank you very much for coming, the use of arsenic, cyanide, and mercury, a potent neurotoxin resulting in severe and long-lasting soil, air, and water pollution. Now, we've had these lovely sandwiches. I think there were some eggs in it, and then we've had some vegetables. Were we to test the levels of these chemicals in the fruit keep up over there. They will be above normal. So the environmental side has become a veritable threat. But it's a threat that is now affecting La Côte d'Ivoire. Now, mercury poisoning, which I think is the most well-known, impacts public health. And I think the Japanese have reduced how much cocoa they are buying from us because the mercury levels are just too high. Of course, the rainforest and the forest reserves are a problem by its own self. So even our biodiversity hotspots are beginning to be destroyed. The question I want you to reflect on is, so what are all those security instruments for? Except just for show, that as part of the international community, we also have some instruments, but we don't intend to use them. I think Chris spoke about the financing and the way Burkinabes are coming to provide financing. But it's not only Burkina. I think the Chinese, the Indians, and then the UAE that has become a net beneficiary of this business. We are losing substantial amounts of money. Now, if the figures we are quoting are correct, and I think they are, you can't go begging for $3 billion when you are losing 2.3 from only one economic activity. And therein lies my concern about our understanding around the notions of what security is and what our national security interests are. Because Parliament hardly debates this, or the unintended insecurities that arise from galamsey. And of course, almost about 12% of our forested areas are gone. This destruction is leading to a 20% decline in cocoa production in some of the regions in this country. It will not just be about a reduction in production. Nobody will buy. It's only a matter of time if we don't elevate this to an existential threat. What an existential threat means when there's a national agreement around it is that it allows us to use extraordinary means to bring it under control. But we know in the last couple of weeks, the pushback when we use this word, an existential threat. So we are talking gold purchases going through the system, some also not going through the system. So somebody sent me this after the last interview I made. So you would notice here that the address just says Burkina Faso. Okay? 5 items, metallic boxes said to contain 500 kilos net of gold. They are being charged $500 a day for storage. Okay? Were we to be lucky enough to be able to get as many of these things as possible, we'll begin to get an idea of the extent of the problem.
So Dr. Kwesienin, with the multiple dimensions of this challenge and why Ghana has to act immediately. Ghana has become a galam state. Criminally minded politicians working with politically minded criminals. 2.3 million small arms in circulation, 1.1 million of them in illegal hands, a lot of them in galamsey. Foreign entities sponsoring mining destroying the environment, and also now affecting the quality of our cash crops, whether it's cocoa and whether they'll be bought or not. We've also brought you the dimensions on health, kidney challenges, babies being born with deformities, Ghana Water Company not having enough raw water or water turbidity at levels that cannot be processed, social distraction, where the fresh money that comes into towns leads to many social vices, and then when the people leave, they leave a stream of distraction behind them, weakening of governance and leadership, DCs, chiefs, complicit, police, sometimes even the army involved, galamsey being done, mining under houses, forest reserves not being spared, hundreds of thousands of acres of land destroyed. It will take some 10 years for some of that to be restored. All of this happening in a country where the president has chosen not to make any comment, at least in the past 2 weeks, on galamsey, where over 50 groups have issued statements of all kinds in support for action on galamsey. Ni, thank you for this. I just wanted to take your closing thoughts. As a journalist who understands the way things work, and the fact that for the past 2 weeks we've been making a lot of noise, and we typically just hear from the minister and his deputy saying we will not ban small-scale mining because foreigners have mined large-scale. So almost like trying to redefine the issue as if we are against people's livelihoods, when the real issue is about irresponsible mining and how it should be done. I don't know what else we can do to get some leadership on this. What are your thoughts?
Bernard, the reality is that the government feels that it is in a fix. It is an election year. They fear if they pursue these guys, then resources will go away, support may dry up. And therefore, they are dancing around the issue. You hear the minister suggest, we are not banning small-scale mining, but we intend to do something about galamsey. Then you hear the flag bearer suggest that, we will not do away with small-scale mining. In fact, to deal with galamsey, we intend to use data and support of artificial intelligence to direct people to where they can find the gold, as opposed to going to destroy large tracts of land. They are simply pussyfooting around the issue because they do know that if they pursue these guys, the likelihood that they will lose in electoral support in these mining communities is high. So that's why they are dancing around it. And then also you have from the opposition side, they also are saying, there are people who have been jailed because they engage in illegal mining. When we come, we'll set these people free. We intend to do A, B, C, D to ensure that people still engage in some meaningful small-scale mining. So it will seem that the government feels that it is in power. It wants to maintain that power. But for some reason, the opposition is taking advantage of the situation and is likely to whittle its support base away. So that is the fix in which they are in. But look, your mandate as government is for 4 years as we know it. You cannot say because this is an election year, you cannot take a bold action because party members are benefiting from this thing. Big people in office are benefiting from it. People in high political office are also benefiting from it, from the political institutions that we have. That is gross irresponsibility, and no government should stand for that kind of thing. So it is important that although they have 3 months or so to the end of their tenure, you should deal with this problem so that posterity will come and celebrate you, that even when you were on the verge of defeat, you still looked at galamsey in the face and dealt with it. Because that is the principle. That is why some people will say, even though the people in these constituencies will vote against you, we in Accra will vote for you. Because we believe that you have protected our water bodies. You have protected the fetus in my womb. You have done all of these things so that I will have a better life. So in the fullness of time, the people in these communities who are doing these things, they will come to understand the level of evil that they have done and continue to do. So the government has got to deal with it, and we need to keep the pressure on. If it has to take a court action to compel the president to act, that must be explored.
Don't forget that Darrell's team have also gone to court in relation to mining in forest reserves. So I'm happy there are multiple dimensions of this. There's the legal aspect, There's the demonstration aspect.
Labor unions must do their demonstration. We must withdraw services to compel the government to act.
Do what has to be done. Yeah,
they must do it.
Thank you, Scott. Nathan, just your final thoughts on this before I move to my next issue.
You mentioned the president, and for me, that's the point I want to, the tangent I want to go on. It's very. You when you think about what the president has done, i.e., not saying anything in the last 2 to 3 weeks, your emotions range from anger to sheer disappointment. So you fluctuate in between these poles.
He set up a committee just to add that.
Yeah, I know he did that, but you see, okay, but what about addressing the nation? What about speaking to us? Away from setting up a committee, what more has the president said? Because he made that very iconic statement that he was ready to put his presidency on the line, and I don't think he's lived up to that expectation. A president who says that, so effectively when you tell us that your presidency is what you put on, it means you don't care if you win or lose. There's a problem you want to solve, and it's for our own collective benefits. Even if you lose an election, you can sleep in peace because Ghanaians are better off. That's not the situation now. You've had several experts, and Bernard, you spoke to one on the point of view. Sharing images and videos. For those who think these are figments of our imagination, there are videos to that effect. Babies being born with birth defects. Parents and older or adults showing up at the hospital with kidney problems. And there's a correlation between where they live, what the mining is doing to them, and the high incidence of kidney problems. So clearly what we are facing is not an issue of people want to mine and we don't want to let them mine. It's something that is killing all of us. For now, it may not be me with a kidney problem, but many years from now, if I'm consuming water or consuming food planted or grown out of polluted soil, I'm going to pay the price for it. So the president has to do something. He has months left on his mandate. He can't still step in, intervene, and turn the situation around to save the Ghanaians he so loves and wants to govern for the next 3 to 4 months.
927, 97.3 Citi FM. Let's hear from you. 054-998-6996. We'll be right back.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Are you hoping to start university this October? If you want a British degree from
and dual citizens of the US, time is running out to vote in November for the presidential election. Join us this Saturday at the Lancaster Hotel near 37, formerly Golden Tulip, to register and help make your vote count. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. this Saturday, Daughters of the Middle Passage, supported by a rep from the U.S. Embassy, will assist you in the registration process to vote. Support democracy. See you at the Lancaster on Saturday.
Now, if you're in your final year of high school, or you're a grad, or you're a student with big dreams of studying abroad, the IDP Education Ghana's fair is happening. It's called the Study World Expo. It's happening on the 12th of October between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. The venue is the Mervyn Peck Ambassador Hotel. Come and meet reps from over 50 unis in Canada, USA, and Australia, and the UK. Register at idp.com or call 0596-012-360. And Twisco is here. It's from the producers of Cowbell. It's made from premium cocoa powder and is enriched with NFL, so you get energy boosting minerals and vitamins in your beverage. Start your day with a cup of the great taste in Twisco and power your dream. And this ad is FDA approved.
Let's talk about a professional service in the ICT space that can help your company do very well in its industry. Tennis Professional Service is a multi-competency enterprise transformation and technology consulting firm with branches across the continent. So we're talking Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Ivory Coast, who combine expertise and capabilities across many industries and businesses to deliver superior value to their clients. The company is 10 years old. So talk about a 10-year journey. What really do they do? And how different are they from other IT consulting firms across the region? And then there's also a big event, the Tennis Ignite and Future Directions. What is all that about? Who can take part and how do you benefit? So I have Jonathan Date, who's a country manager for Tennis Professionals. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bernard. Good to see you.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Aaron Lawson is also here. He's the sales and account manager for the same company. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Wow. So it's been 10 years already. Tell us about tennis. Is that how it's pronounced? Tennis?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. Tennessee. So like the US state.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tenec.
Out of tenacity.
Tenacity.
Right.
Tennessee Professional Service. So tell us about the organization.
Right. Thank you, Bernard. Almost 2 decades ago, a dream by Sir Kingsley Eze, our founder and CEO, was birthed in Nigeria.
Okay.
And that birthed Tennessee Professional Services, a multi-competency enterprise transformation and technology consulting firm. That vision found expression in Ghana after some years. And today we are 10 years in Ghana.
Wow.
Providing cutting-edge IT solutions to various industries. And we are here with you today looking back at our 10-year journey and celebrating that with our thought leadership IT program called Tennessee Ignite. That brings together, all stakeholders within the space to look at the direction of technology and the future of technology in Ghana and on the continent.
We'll talk about the event shortly, but looking back over the decade, what are some of the most significant milestones and achievements that stand out for you?
Wow. It feels like yesterday when Tennessee started in Ghana. And I can say that from 2 staff, today we are about 20 plus. We have also given opportunity to, in excess of 20 plus individuals from universities to intern with us. And some of these individuals have become our junior engineers, and they've gone through the ranks. We have since, when we started, you said tennis. I think back in the day, when we mentioned the name tennis, everybody begins to ask, is it Tennessee in the US? Today, we are a household name within all industry verticals, from banking to telecoms, government, manufacturing, oil and gas, name them. And so these are very significant milestones. We have also delivered very significant projects, some of which operating from Ghana, reaching out to about over 20 countries on the continent.
Wonderful.
We begin to grow, and Ghana also gave birth to Cote d'Ivoire. So we manage Ghana, and we manage the Francophone enclave from Cote d'Ivoire.
Wow.
As an entity in Ghana.
So it's a regional company.
It's a it's a Pan-African business.
Because there's Ethiopia, there's Uganda, and all of that.
Yes, and the vision is that by 2030, we'll be in all significant markets on the continent.
Wow.
Currently in Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Uganda, Malawi, South Africa, and have reached, these are physical presence, and we have reached in terms of projects to more than 30 African countries on the continent.
So what sets Tennessee apart from other regional IT consultancy firms? What are some of your unique value propositions?
Wow. Thank you, Bernard. Because we operate in major markets in the market, we have a wealth of experience and wealth of knowledge. We know what is happening in South Africa, as we know what is happening in Nigeria and in Ghana. The trends in Uganda and the trends in Ethiopia. We have, we have a pool of engineers that are, if the resource is not in Ghana, I can find it in Kenya. That will do the work for me in Ghana. I can find that resource in Nigeria. So we have a pool of engineers that are top notch that we have invested in that works across the group. We have trained our people. Because consultation and advisory is one of our services. We have trained our people such that they'll be able to find ways to engage. And so our way of engaging our customers is unique. And we are able to engage and get out the best out of our customers and propose solutions that will best solve their problems.
We're speaking to leadership of Tennessee Professional Services, Pan-African multi-competency enterprise transformation technology consulting firm, who are celebrating 10 years in Ghana. They are over 2 decades old. And I have in studio Jonathan Date and Aaron Lawson, the sales and account manager. Now, let's talk about Tennessee Ignite and future directions. Now, what's the vision behind this event, and what can people expect from this conference?
Right. So to set us apart, our founder, envision Tennessee to be a thought leader in the space. So Tennessee Ignite has been running for more than 10 years in Nigeria. And as part of our anniversary, exhibitions, that we have OEMs that are exhibiting their solutions, and there'll be the opportunity for people to have high impact networking.
Wow. So where is this event, by the way, and what's the time, and what are some other details people who want to attend need to know? All
right. So the event is tomorrow, 26th of September, and it's happening at Movenpick Hotel. We're starting at 9:30 a.m.
Okay.
The invitation is gone out to all. It's an invitation-only event, and so we have sent invitations out to all our stakeholders and partners to be part of this engagement. The leadership of Tennessee at the group are all descending on Accra, and we hope that by the time we are done, our participants will take out a few things that can help their businesses in these difficult times.
Let's talk about the future. So 10 years in Ghana is great, but as you enter your next decade, what are some of your goals, both short-term and long-term?
Sure. So in the short term, Tennessee will continue to engage.
cross my T's and dots my eyes. Stress way, they my chest I ostracized. Do I treat you man, Robert, you smell the ties. Me and I dream be a yaka, I'm cutting ties. My jalabia tailor made, all customized. My English straight pigeon, all bastardized. What I for do? Ignore the bastard guys. I work, they snore, I pass those guys. Thank God it's Friday, of course my mind day. Rise and shine your eye, hustle, let's wait. All week long we hustle and slave. Trap the non-clays for wages and pay. Coco King in the morning, and short of him day. Weekend so strong, helps to shine the weekdays. Mommy say, son, well, God be praised. Well, these days, money be why we day some way. I bathe in faith, no bathe in apes. A basic case of faith in something great, but still, from 6 to 6 with stones and bricks, a building a future, I hope I live to see him. I barely no sleep, give me some wavy. Boys, I bread all week, give me some wavy. Boys, I living no be cheap, give me some wavy. But thank God it's Friday, maybe Jimmy needed a doom so, some wavy. The real boy in so tall, give me some wavy. My woman boy, why dog, give me some wavy. But thank God it's Friday, maybe Jimmy need my gets, mini aje. During the week, I'm busy, mini adaje. But I still put in work, sick of dachi. I'm even out before the sun sets marching. So it's 5 on Friday, any achi. Make up verbs are quite nasi. Health is wealth, I give thanks, me dasi. My use my word as might to buy a sassy. Why wouldn't him say, hustle know they nap, hustle know they sleep, hustle know they slack, you make wild on the streets, hustle know they vex or stress about beef. RIP laziness, lay reef. Dance with the struggle, got a million needs. We've been up in here along like Brazilian weaves. One of weekdays filled without brilliant deeds. Weekends we can enjoy what resilience breeds. I bathe in faith, no base with snakes. A basic case of me and fake know that relates. From 6 to 6 with stones and bricks, build a future risque, shaman stone and flicks. I barely no sleep, give me some wavy. Boys I bread all week, give me some wavy. Boys are living no be cheap, give me some wavy. But thank God it's Friday, maybe Jimmy needed a doom so, some wavy. The real boy in so tall, give me some wavy. My woman boy, why dog, give me some wavy. But thank God it's Friday, maybe Jimmy needs see. Bug at my Emre, girls are bread, no be boys bed.
Manifest.
Thank God it's
Step into latex foam showrooms and experience the difference of high quality mattresses and furniture crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind.
Still, from 6 to 6.
You'll be refreshed, rejuvenated, ready to take on the day. Invest in your well-being. Choose latex foam. Otherwise, you do yourself. Call 0302-231-155 or 0302-231-156 all the way to 62. Or go to latexfoamghana.com for more information.
But I still put in work,
Heritage Christian College is making an announcement for their undergraduate programs: BA Psychology, BBA Accounting and Finance, BBA Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Part of Community Development and Theology, and of course BSc Business Info Entrepreneurial Leaders.
Now, the GRA is reminding all persons registered for VAT NHI Get Fund Levy that the returns for these taxes for August 2024 should be submitted not later than Monday, September 30, which is the last working day of the month. Remember to submit your returns by that day to avoid paying penalties. If you want to speak to the GRA, send them an email, info@gra.gov.gh, or send them a WhatsApp message 055-299-0000. What is luck? For many, luck is that glorious moment when you find money in your trousers right when you're broke. For others, it's getting picked out of the crowd for a reward. What you need to do to experience some luck is dial *712#. Get your ticket. The more you buy, the better your chances of winning. Luck is on its way to you, your community, so stay sharp. Luckiest luck is everywhere. Now, parents, students, professionals, have you thought about educating your world or studying in Canada? Was your study visa application unsuccessful? Do you want to know which courses or programs of study will get you a good job in Canada? To answer all those questions, October 14 and 15 are the dates you need to mark down. Go to the Accra City Hotel, of course, in Accra, and if you're in Kumasi, go to the Lancaster Hotel on the 16th of October to have all these questions and more answered. The event is free, but you can register via 025-624-5006. Call or send a WhatsApp message. Best Education Study in Canada Fair 2024. It's your ticket to success.
I'm pleading with you to draw the attention of the police, especially those in Kaswa and Amanfrom, that yesterday evening around 10 p.m., a Momo vendor was shot in the leg twice, and they took his money. He is battling for his life at Winneba Trauma Hospital as I speak to you. Please, we need intensive visibility by the police. This is from Just Lord. So he says there was a shooting incident at Kaswa where a Momo vendor was shot in the leg at 10 p.m. A Momo vendor battling for his life at the Winneba Trauma Hospital.
And even abuse or bravery, they said slavery, an act of slavery and slavery, quavery.
Happy birthday to Joa Afrakuma Ababio, Citi FM traffic executive. Is it Joycelyn?
Yeah, Joycelyn.
Jocelyn. Happy birthday to you, Afrax, from all of us. Stop bringing us non-compliance.
Frakuma.
Stop
Every
on this occasion of your birthday.
She should bring us biscuits and things, not that.
Stop bringing us non-compliance emails, choking us to our money every day. Charlie, then
Charlie, bring us biscuits.
And she's every week, every month too.
From 14 to 18.
Charlie, as of 8:45. Hey, Abraham, Charlie, non-compliance what? Charlie, when our money serious, hey, Aloski. Afrakuma, happy birthday to you.
I was reading this wish. I didn't read it well, so I'll read it again. Mrs. Hannah Asante Abrokwa of the ECG Projects Office. Today is your birthday, and the message is coming from your two very good friends in the office, Bernard and Jifa. So earlier I said Bernard and Jifa were a couple. No, it's Bernard, Engineer Bernard Dankwa.
Charlie, you spot.
Charlie, so I beg you. So Bernard and Jifa work with Mrs. Asante. Today's Mrs. Asante's birthday, and she's very good friends.
You've already caused the damage.
Quick disclaimer.
She's very good friends with Bernard and Jifa.
That's all we have time for today's edition of the Citi Breakfast Show. My name is Bernard, and I did this with Nathan, Caleb, and Sky. City News at 10 with Caleb. Take it up.
Hello, this is the Election Bureau, and welcome to